Welcome to. I was hoping. Fair. I was last week. Everyone knows we had Kevin from Good Christian Fun Pod on our show.
Everyone knows.
You got to be. Everyone's listening to Good versus Evil. If you're not, you're fucking up. Or you're frigging up. You're frigging off. We had Kevin on the show last week, and I also did their show. It was one of those things where we did a full-on trade Z. I think
it's a
probably because
crossover.
people have kind of
sweeps.
People have been telling me forever that Kevin is kind of very similar to me in a lot of ways. So maybe it was like we had to keep the balance. We had to actually fully trade places instead of just doing one or the other. I don't know why, but going on their show was just another reminder that like we're not you and I are not making a podcast, and we could be. So I was hoping that I could just will it into existence that because they had one of those like rehearsed, like when we've done other podcasts together even, and they know how to say a spiel that they've somehow mastered.
Right, they're like, okay, so you guys, they're like chilling. They're like, okay, welcome to 155, your podcast for punk and punk rock culture. I'm here as always with Josiah. Josiah, how are you doing?
And then sometimes they'll even say together they'll be like, and by the way, don't forget to check us out on Patreon.
Patreon.com/.
We're not looking at. We weren't looking at each other.
A little bit of casual things. Yeah,
I know.
The problem is that we can't have video on because it's too intimate.
Yeah, so and I also think we can't work together, really. We are technically working together, but, we're not. And the other thing about this is, despite us not being able to actually do a normal podcast, we have been doing whatever this is, I think, possibly as of today, for 5 years.
Wait, hold on. Do you mean today, recording today?
No, sorry. That's another thing I should have bluffed better. No, the day that this is airing... is the same day that we aired.
Wow.
Maybe I'm also wrong with that.
Yeah, it's coming up. No,
it's
it
close.
is. No, you're right. Because the podcast comes out at 11:55 on Wednesday night, and so this podcast is coming to you at 11:55 on July 13th, and on July 13th of 2017, we uploaded the Dumpweed episode of Blink 155.
Isn't that crazy?
And I'm reading about it now on the 155 wiki, which I didn't think was filled in, but has fairly substantial notes on the Dumpweed episode.
Yeah, I think the first couple, they went pretty hardcore.
Filled in, and then people sort of lost their...
Let's see what... does it not... I guess post Blink 155 doesn't count. Maybe someone's done the Damn It app. No, there's nothing. It's empty. Someone has their work cut out for them. We're going to need another pandemic for this to happen.
That's you know what? I hope monkeypox takes the world by storm and gives you an opportunity to fill in information on the Wikipedia for this podcast. And the reason that I hope that is because I'm evil.
Oh shit! It's already starting.
And McSpooks. But this week, we're going straight to hell.
I'm so sorry. This shows how badly we're working together. When I said no, I clicked the punk news thing, forgetting that you could hear it, because I thought that would be such a good escape from that. I wasn't ready, but I didn't know you were doing this cool Vincent Price thing underneath. Which is always... You're the impression guy, too, is really what we've learned in the last...
I'm the impression king of the pod.
5 years. You're the impressions guy. I'm more of the expressions guy, I guess. I'm more of the impression guy.
Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, do you want to play... Since we've established that this is not a real pod, do you want to play the theme and then we'll...
Well, I did play it already.
Oh, I just did an impression under the whole thing.
Yeah. And you know what else is... I'm going to leave it now, but I just want everyone to know I forgot to turn off the hall light, and Sarah's in the other room with the door closed and the AC on, and now the hall light is on right now, and it's going to drive me insane.
Wait.
Are you like that? Do you have that do you have that dad brain where if a light is left on, it drives you fucking crazy? You think that the world's going to end? God.
Yeah, completely to a degree that is maybe not related to all of those things. The primary source of conflict probably in my relationship, if I had to guess. is that like I've been 50 for a long time.
Do you think that I should turn it off, or should I just leave and?
I think you should.
Should I
think
sit
you
here
should
and think about what I've done?
No, because you're
Okay.
gonna. If that were me, I would be stewing about
really
it. So you
stressed.
go.
Okay,
I'll
I'll be right back. Why don't you do
so-
some Vincent Price while I'm gone instead of whatever?
I'm not gonna do what you. You know what? Because I'm evil. I'm not gonna do what you tell me. So okay, let's talk about how to make a bomb at home. First, you're gonna need some Diet Coke or Pepsi or RC Cola. I actually don't know if it's specific to the ingredients in Coke. It's probably anything. And then you're gonna need some Mentos, and you're ready to get into big trouble.
Why do you sound like
I
you're
was doing
jacking off?
I was doing
while you're
anarchist.
saying this?
No, I was doing like anarchist cookbook stuff because it's evil.
And pulling your little pud while you said it.
That's
probably.
I was fucking jerking off and talking about how to make a homemade bomb to destroy the government.
That's pretty cool. That's something like, I bet you. I mean, how many like online leftists are just jerking their little peckers the whole time? Probably all of them.
Like the whole time they're potting and tweeting.
Yeah,
like,
the whole time they're like saying praxis or whatever. They don't say praxis anymore. I'm so old.
No one says praxis anymore.
That's such an
Jesus
early
Christ,
pod
man.
thought. Now they say other
Wow,
things. Probably.
that's dumpweed brain, eh?
Yeah. Even saying brain or pilled, that's old. What do people say nowadays?
I think brain is fine. I think pilled is over for sure.
Do you have any punk news for me, Sam?
I've got some punk news. Now, this punk news won't hit you in your brain or your privates, but it will hit you in perhaps the most private place of all, and that's your mouth. I'm talking about health punk.
Oh, wow.
Sort of shades of. I think health punk might be. Health Punk is the name of the company. So Health Punk has the same issue that I have with disemvoweling.
It does.
It's half-assed. So health, no vowels, punk has the U. Because I guess otherwise people might have thought it was like health pink or something. Or health punk.
I guess it's because if there's a word that only has one, no, I guess health has one syllable too. Is it because if you're only deleting one vowel, then it becomes, because you have Sam, normal, and then
Yeah.
But if you'd done it
health
before,
punk is sort of inverse
people
of
would have
me,
thought
yeah.
you were saying like something or something Rowan.
I'll defend my choice of vowels, but and it's up to Health Punk to defend theirs. But Health Punk, this is an article that comes from my favorite.
Another wonderful, so much excellent wordplay here from all of these people.
Yeah, I mean, look, I of course, as a graduate of Harvard online,
right?
One
Samuel
of the
Sutherland, BAA, speaking right
BAA, yeah. One of the magazines, one of the many publications that I subscribe to keep my brain sharp and to keep attuned of the all of the sort of trends, the comings and goings, the larger macro effects on my life and my business. Of course, I read The Economist, but lately, because I'm thoughtful and punk, I've been reading the Vegonomist.
The veg again, like
Vegonomist.
You can't really make that G soft with a C right after it. It does say Vegonomist. The vegan business
I of course
magazine.
read the vegan business magazine Vegonomist, and they've written about health punk disrupting the sauce industry with punk-inspired vegan flavor. Now, when you think of a punk flavor, Josiah, what do you think? What tastes? What does a punk taste to you?
Probably, maybe an ashtray or like old bottles and cans, like rotting.
I think that but it's been a number of years since I drank. When we used to tour a lot in the States, we would always drink natural ice, or natty ice, as the locals, the Americans, would call it. And on a recent trip down to America for the Vagrant Records 25th anniversary shows, in the spirit of rekindling some of our youth, myself and my friend Darren that I was traveling with, bought a 30 rack of natty ice. And my God, that tasted pretty punk to me, to my... wrong side of your mid-30s taste buds. That was that tastes a little punk to me. And so maybe that's what Health Punk is doing with these punk-inspired hot sauces. They taste like old bottles of Natty Ice and ashtrays. Because when it comes to making condiments, this is, of course, the copy from Vegconomist.
One thing I do really quickly want to say is that, unfortunately, we can't even be mocking an author because I think this might be SpawnCon on VegCon.
No.
I don't know. There's no author, at least.
It's written by VegConomist staff or whatever?
Yeah, there's no author at all.
Damn. So I'm skeptical about this. Let's see.
Yeah, I feel like this might not be as unbiased as we hoped.
As we hope for. The photo of it, I don't do a lot of painting, but there's the sort of hero photo here is like a very pixelated photo of like a fork. Mm-hmm. Like a barbecue fork skewering, I guess what is a hot sauce bottle, but very much looks like a tube of paint.
Yeah, all the photos on here are very strange. Like they've put the entire tube of sauce inside of a sandwich. It looks like shit. Honestly, it's terrible.
Well, okay. Well, listen. When it comes, let's hear out this piece of SpawnCon. When it comes to making condiments, most brands stick to a familiar formula of traditional ingredients and flavors. That's right. We're talking about the lamestream condiment companies. But at least one art-inspired brand, Health Punk, is setting out to bring a plant-based punk revolution to the conventional sauce industry. This is the world's first oat mayo, Josiah. Now, you I don't know how much we want to talk about your diet because I know you don't want to be called out in one way or the other. But how would you describe your diet? And is mayo no longer a part of your diet?
At this point, I'm a militant pescatarian, so I'll eat fish and dairy and be militant about how lazy I am. I think is ultimately my thing. So
you're
that's
pretty focused on that
stuff like this. Knowing that there's like some kind of like I could probably pay way too much money to have a stupid thing that looks like it looks like Benefit for All Mankind makeup or something. Like this looks like some shit that you would get at the makeup store, the name of which is escaping me right now for some reason. Sephora. This looks like hot sauce that you would buy at Sephora, not at a store. Like, I love this idea of getting some needlessly expensive, over-the-top vegan sauce. So that does tempt me a little bit, and I do love oat milk. I mean, if I'm having a cheeky bowl, I'm soaking that cereal in oat milk these days, not milk, even though I don't really give a fuck other than my militant pescatarianism. So this interests me. Milk. This does interest me for sure. So I don't know. What about you? Like, would you? I mean, you know, not to paint you with broad strokes, but are you like a sriracha guy? Is that your thing? Do you like have a sriracha shirt anywhere? Have you ever owned a sriracha shirt?
I have a sriracha hoodie. I have a tattoo. No, we do. Look, I have a small bottle that goes on some foods, but we do have a wider selection of. I tend to use that when I make my it's part of the ramen sort of recipe. It goes in. It goes
you have
in
like a fancy ramen.
Well,
and you call it ramen.
No, I don't.
Also?
It's sriracha, peanut butter, and
oh my god,
sesame oil, and what's the salty dark brown called again?
Oh shit.
Soy sauce and cum. Soy sauce, and that's the kind of ramen sauce.
That sounds banging.
I
was just going to ask if you're a picky eater, but I think you're probably not. Or are you?
I'm absolutely not. No, but if I was, perhaps I'd be interested in the world's first oat mayo.
But that's what I'm trying to understand. Like as a sort of, you know, the murderer that you are of not just fish, but of other mammals.
All of God's creatures. Yeah.
Would you still eat this, or would you be like, ew, it's vegan. I don't want to be shut up, vegans. Like, I don't know. Like, would you performatively hate on vegans?
No, I will never performatively hate on vegans. I will only hate on vegans if it's related to, I guess, Vegan Dale in Toronto, which is already something from the 2017 era of this podcast.
Yeah, why was everyone mad about that? It sounded tight also.
It was not tight at all. But that's like some Torontoist problems. That's not the vague economist, unfortunately. So look, if you are like Josiah, kind of,
I'm just trying to get a straight answer.
Lifestyle,
would you eat this sauce, Sam?
No, I would avoid this sauce. Honestly, I would.
Why?
It looks great because I barely eat mayo to begin with. So why would I want
you are a picky
worse
eater.
Mayo?
You don't eat mayo?
Well, I just have a preference. No, I just don't. It's just
that's a picky eater thing to say.
It adds nothing. I mean, I wouldn't insist. I still like the Burger King long chicken sandwich, which is basically just a mayo delivery system. That's good mayo, but otherwise, I don't even know if there's mayo in my house.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
I know.
I've got at least two mayos in my house right now.
Two? What? Like in case one runs out, or is one like a flavored mayo?
Well, I think I might even have some flavored mayo too. I got all kinds of sauces. I'm just swim in sauce over here. I love it. I love sauce.
Damn. The Sauce King. Well, maybe. So, would you order some Holtzpunk, or should I send some of this to your house?
Yeah, I would love.
Should I send some of their UFO burger sauce to your house?
I mean, this would be a great section of the pod to sponsor, but I just think everyone hates us and wishes we were dead.
It wouldn't be a great section. All we do is make fun of whatever we're doing. And be like, all right, this fucking product, Liquid Death. It's water for if you're a dick.
if you're a fucking loser. I mean, that's
if you're
true.
like, I want to drink water, but I don't want people thinking I'm a homo drinking Dasani, so I got Liquid Death. Shut the fuck up, Liquid Death.
Sam just said homo.
But I was doing an impression of someone who would say that.
But that's from 1998.
That's why I felt like it was okay.
What year is it right now? Sam, they did say... maybe this is, I don't know if I think this is a press release. Either way,
I did buy a Dasani yesterday, and even having to say
feel
it,
like a homo?
I was out, I needed water, and I was like, I wish I could say something that didn't make me feel quite as H word, you know?
Did you all of a sudden have a piercing on one ear, whichever side it was? That was
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I knew which side it was, and all of a sudden it was pierced. It's a whole drama.
Later in this SpawnCon press release that you found us from VegConomist, they mentioned that the founder of HealthPunk did an interview with another website called Fedgicate. So I don't know if that's the Fed or to do with being fed, like educating yourself on food. I don't know, but we'll explain the company's punk-inspired ethos. A punk is somebody who questions everything, who chooses freely, and takes responsibility for their actions. We are a group of people who say, hey, this normal world of everybody living within these parameters is not something we want to do. We want to create our own world. We want to be our own people. We want to be individuals. So I kind of feel like putting a quote inside of a quote for this interview is kind of upsetting from a copy perspective. And also the quote within the quote has not been closed. And so I feel like LaSalle is still going in this. Everything he's saying is still part of his interview with Fedgic. His entire life since this interview was done has been part of this interview. So and this is from 2020.
That's very interesting.
For the last 2 years, everything that Richard LaSalle has said has been part of this quotation for Fedgicate.
Wow. Well, I mean, good to know that, no matter what, because I'm on the HealthPunk website, that whatever Richard LaSalle is saying is bringing a punk revolution to the traditional condiment market, which is, of course, the HealthPunk promise.
Well,
so, hell yeah.
Health
from
yeah.
punk to plate.
Well, that's another vertical we could explore. Maybe it's kind of like punk and hipster food. Like we've already talked about, we're going to be doing our own hgtv.ca show, and so maybe we're going to. We're going to be we're trying to turn more lifestyle for the second half of our first decade as a pod. Ultimately, to become our goal to eventually become the next Vice magazine. I think we'll be there. I do think it would be a great time to start a Vice News kind of thing because there are so many. Poor people all around the world that you could walk around and point at and say, look how fucked up this person is for a docuseries.
You could go to so many places and walk around
and point at people.
This person's different from me.
How fucked up is that? So my punk news is kind of more traditional, actually. Actual punk news. This is written by...
This is the punkest news can be.
This is a feature by Liza Lentini. Incredible name. Liza Lentini from Spin Magazine. 5 albums I can't live without. Mod Sun. And now I am contractually obligated to stop mentioning Machine Gun Kelly, but y'all forgot to complain about Mod Sun. So here we are talking about my boy Mod Sun, who is honestly getting cooler by the minute. I mean, look at this photograph. That was not intentional, to quote Avril Lavigne's other husband. But look at this photograph. He's wearing
he looks cool.
His jacket is incredible. I love the idea of having a Vivienne Westwood punk pin, like just going straight to the source. And then he's got Fred Perry, and then for some reason he's got Radiohead Amnesiac. I mean, this is a man with depth.
Yeah,
here.
Susie and the Banshees got looks like a vintage Nirvana hoodie.
I mean, that's definitely from Blue Notes, but it looks vintage. Yeah, it's for sure.
Full Blue Notes.
It's driving me crazy, actually, that under his armpit there's a loose thread, which also is kind of punk in a way, too. And his face looks so smooth. It's so kissable.
Yeah, sometimes he looks our age and older, and in this he looks like
a little baby. He looks like a smooth little baby.
Little baby smooth boy.
So this was, I think this was first posted by our friend Mitty Rendell from Wodonga. But I didn't notice it until Georgia flagged it for me. Thank you so much, Georgia. I mean, all of Georgia's just kind of on the front lines of punk news, and this is very important. So, there's lots of Mod Sun biographical stuff. He's best known for, he says, definitely my energy, trying to give up good energy, walking into a room and leaving the room better than the way I found it. That's my goal in life. Current location, Malibu. I'm looking at surfers on the beach right now. Really want to be in. I just spent the last couple of days in New York City. I have such a romanticized idea of New York City and just walking around all the time. My favorite city in the whole world is Paris. I absolutely love Paris, and I will end up living there soon. Just kind of seems almost like a bot wrote all this stuff, but in a great way.
Yeah.
He's excited about the next set of music that he's going to release. Honestly, some of the Mod Sun tunes, killer so far. He loves Bob Dylan, is his favorite artist, which I never would have really expected.
You can hear that, for sure.
In Perfectly Imperfect, actually, he does mention Bob Dylan. I don't think I'll play it. I don't think it's worth getting the episode deleted for playing that. But, one album he can't live without, Blood on the Tracks, Bob Dylan. The albums he can't live without are all pretty interesting. So it's Blood on the Tracks, Bob Dylan. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, Blink-182. Have you ever heard that? I don't know if you've...
I haven't. No, I'm unfamiliar. But this is okay. So he says Travis Barker is my favorite drummer. So this is Travis Barker's band.
Yeah, exactly. I do like what Mod Sun says. That album completely changed my life. The aesthetic of it, the way they dressed on it, became a complete part of my DNA. It's hard to imagine Toy Page era dress being something that became part of your DNA, but I can kind of see it happening with like Y2K fashion. Like shorts are getting big again,
sure.
So that does make sense. But I feel like personally I'm at a crossroads where I don't know if I think I might be too old to change shorts type again in my life. You know what I mean? I've just...
Yeah, but I've accepted that with all things. Like now that pants are getting big again, I'm like, I don't have fucking time for this. I just got normal straight leg. I'm just gonna dress normal.
I think I did shift. I did follow the pants wave, but I think the shorts wave is like, I'm scared. I'm just scared is all I'm trying to say.
Right.
So, The Con by Tegan and Sarah, I thought that was kind of an interesting choice. A little bit of con in here. Is that why they called it that? The Con?
Yeah, the can. Yeah, it's about the CRTC. It's a concept album.
I wonder if anybody has tweeted at him the NoFX Tegan and Sarah songs, since he's kind of in both worlds. But I don't think anyone should. It's a reprehensible, disgusting song.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
The 1975, something I've never heard. I've chosen to skip this cultural entity. I don't know if you've heard it, but it seems like something to skip.
No.
And then
I think I'm good.
Dizzy Up the Girl by the Goo Goo Dolls. That's so sick. Such a sick choice to choose.
But I like that he says it was going to be this or Bitches Brew. I was going to put fucking, The Shape of Jazz to Come on my list, but instead I put on Clarity by Jimmy Eat World. Like, whoops,
Bitches Brew is also like the Toy Page of being into that kind of shit. I mean, that's definitely not like anything to... But here's the real reason
why not put on Kind of Blue? Let's just get some
just fucking
jazz
my
up
favorite,
in this piece.
My Starbucks blue Dixie Note jazz style, Dixieland Blue Note, like a Starbucks comp or whatever. Nora Jones could be good. Here's the real reason I included it in punk news, because I really do love Mod Sun. I think I actually might like Mod Sun even more than MGK because his songs are really good, and I just think he started from such a place of annoyingness that he's become so charming and nice seeming, and I love him. But here's how I know that he's a man after my own heart. So if you go up in the article where it says preferred format for his music, he says, definitely vinyl. There's mystical overtones in what the vinyls give off more than the songs. Listening to something on vinyl I'm obsessed with feeling, he interrupts himself. Listening to something on vinyl I'm obsessed with feeling like I'm in a different time period. Listening to vinyl, like I said, there's a mystical overtone in the sound of music on vinyl.
Did you write this?
That gives me chills, how perfect that is. So God bless you, Mod Sun.
Is he getting paid for every time he says the word vinyl?
He also says vinyls, which is so good. And they didn't even, they probably took out the ums and ahs. They could have fixed it, but they kept it. There's mystical overtones in what the vinyls give off more than the songs. Yes! Yes! Thank you, Mod Sun. All right.
This is a man after your own heart, for sure.
That's punk news.
Punk news, P-U-N-K-N-E-W-S.
I'm good. I love being good.
No, that's right. I guess it's not good and bad. Let's be honest. It's good versus evil. We're not just talking bad. We're talking evil this month. Josiah, what do you think makes someone evil more than makes someone bad? Like, I feel like is evil more of a, like, are we already looking at this through a sort of traditional Judeo-Christian cultural lens? Because good and bad, that's universal. Good, the notion of evil,
I feel like,
is that
to
a
me,
Christian
okay,
ideal?
well, first of
who
all,
invented evil? Evil.
I think when you pair them like this.
What's up?
Okay, here we go. Sam's doing his Googles again. He's going to be like, who knows? Like, see, you can hear he's typing a whole fucking
Origin
paragraph.
of Evil. Here we go. Let's see what the movie Ouija Origin of Evil has to say.
I think the difference between bad and evil in this dichotomy actually changes the meaning of good. If you say good and bad, it feels like you're talking about taste. But if you say good and evil, it feels like you're talking about something much more. I'm also like, that's the other thing in the last 5 years. It feels like talking about taste is like not cool anymore. Kind of feels like it's over.
But talking about looking for corpses, dusting for prints, talking about being preoccupied with your six senses, talking about barbed wire fences. Like, okay, that's right. We're dragging the lake this week, and we're talking about Alkaline Trio's Private Eye. Josiah, I mean, listen, I'm going to get to talk about how sick this song is for a little while. Had you heard this song before? What was your, like? I was sort of imagining, because we recorded this after doing this week's exclusive. We took 10 minutes or so, and in that 10 minutes, I was like, oh, what's it like there? What's he thinking? Is he loving? Like, what does his face look like?
You know what
As
I was
you listen
thinking?
to this slice of spooky pop punk perfection.
What I was thinking was, I really wish we were at a point where I could eat Ruffles on the pod, but I can't, and so I'm just having to pay.
What kind of Ruffles were you eating?
I eat them so quickly, anyways. I like, honestly, people who put chips in their mouth one at a time, give me a break. You gotta eat them like you're dying.
Well, unless you're licking them.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, I was just having classic sour cream and onion Ruffles.
Oh, it's so good.
Incredible snack. Good Lord.
We should pivot to. We've talked about a few things that we want to do with the pod, like maybe make the exclusives more accessible. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I think one of the things that we should do though is just skip right to eating on pod, because I was a couple of weeks ago. We'll
stop talking over people talking over a podcast or whatever that what was the final straw.
Yeah, we'll stop that, but we will. We'll
start
be hearing
eating
crunches
and
crunchy shit.
Turn the game up.
A couple of weeks ago, I was like, we had like probably some like light healthy dinner, and so between the main episode and covers, I got pretty hungry, and I was like, maybe I can just like eat this slice of cheese, just for like a little something, like I'm a little tiny mouse listening to covers, and I just kept having to mute, because I was like, there's no way this isn't. So I'd be like.
Laughing,
but cut it, like being like laughing and then muting to like eat a little bit of cheese. So, Josiah, enough. Let's stop avoiding it. You're sitting there. You're shoving chips in your face. So
Well,
you're
I
not
got to be honest
honestly,
with you too. I heard this. So we've already talked about this. We're stuck in a loop today because we're prepping early.
Yeah.
We're
the Rogers
banking
outage
apps.
kind of fucked us up. We're both traveling.
We've already talked about the Rogers thing, but it's true. So there was no one online on Friday except I was the only man online in Canada, and I was prepping for the episode that I thought we might do if you got your internet back, which you never did. So I had heard like a shit ton of covers of the song. That by the time I listened to
you
it,
heard the covers first, basically.
by the time I listened to it now, I could even when I heard I feel like I've heard the guitar riff before, but I can't tell if it's because it's just like when you're like learning guitar and you're kind of like a badass alt, and you learn about open E string with the high, is it maybe the G note on the A string? I'm trying to do open E with a G, doing some kind of riffing like that. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like the riff on this is like, so it's like, that's like, the riff on this is like pure distilled adolescence in guitar form. So I feel like I've heard it before, maybe I've just heard so many other things and written or played so many other things that sound exactly like this throughout my life. So I can't really tell, but I think that the singing, the vocal delivery, and the lyrics are like so stupid. Like just what a goof. Like it literally does feel like someone is trying to do your Vincent Price impression and maybe like almost like Strokesy or something too. But like there's some crooning going on in a way that's very uncomfortable and made even worse by the fact that like, Private Eye in general and then adding a spooky element is very like Daniel Klaus in a way that is like very dated and Gen X feeling. And I can hear why people like it because it does have the adolescent riff and then it goes to a major chord thing in the chorus and there's some sing-along moments. But I also just feel like maybe Matt Skiba always writes too many lyrics for his songs. It just feels like there's too much fitting in here.
All the spooky words that he can jam into a song. Like, it's a shame that we're only going to get to do 2 songs. And for people who are only listening to this, I mean, I feel like we talked around this a lot, but like this month, Good versus Evil, alternating between MXPX and Alkaline Trio. And definitely all the good Alkaline Trio songs are like, Bloody Mary in the mirror looking at my spooky hand. It's got a knife in it and I'm a spooky intelligent guy,
Yeah.
Like they're all like just as many Halloween words as you can kind of jam into the Mad Lib as possible.
And then MXPX's songs are like, I love you like Christ loved the church.
Yeah, exactly. Just simple, to the point.
Yeah.
Letting people's knowledge of the Bible do a lot of the rhetorical heavy lifting for them in their own mind.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I had wondered that as well. I was like, you were putting together the covers for this, so like you definitely were hearing it at first in what I imagine is like a really exciting,
absolute hellscape of nasty, stinky men with acoustic guitars. The amount of men, the amount of max res defaults of men making emotive faces. Because the other thing is like, is this music camp? Would you say? Because I feel like if it's not like. First of all, I feel like it needs to be camp for us to even go on. And second of all, I feel like also these things are kind of like interpreted by sideways Etnies hat bros at a campfire as not being camp. They're somehow, maybe they like the part about doing fucked up shit. They're like, oh, that reminds me of my life and all the fucked up shit that I do. But they don't like. I just try to think. I think sometimes we talk about things in terms of like, do they know that this person is being ironic or not? Does anyone know that this is campy or no?
I think people definitely know this is campy. Like, to me, this is like absolutely high camp in the same way that the Misfits are like high camp. I mean, obviously this is like very much indebted, not just in a spooky way, but in a like kind of like croony, like ripping off Elvis and putting it in a sort of different sonic setting way, like indebted to kind of everything about, the whole kind of dancing vibe. But I think like the camp here is sort of not intended and therefore not a thing that everyone Like it's like a music, like even though like it's like zooby zooby zoo, like it's so like just on the nose and corny, but delivered with such sincerity that I think like, because even if you look through the genius annotations for this, it's like, okay, now he's talking about, like booze, because that's like, how booze and drugs are always at the root of the problems in Alkaline Trio songs. And so there's this like inherent kind of, yes, like Edney's reading of it where it's just like, cool, it's like a metaphor, whatever. Or there's this way of kind of reading it in this like kind of like high camp pop punk song about like being a private eye who's dragging lakes, which like maybe we'll find out if that's normal private eye behavior. I don't
what
know.
does dragging the lake mean also? Because I know this this turn of phrase, I guess, it was in the back of my eye, my mind's eye, not my private eye, I guess. But in my subconscious, I was like, oh, that's a familiar phrase. And then I have to admit, I Googled it because I don't think I ever owned it. But obviously, this is the name of the Atticus compilation.
Yeah, it's the comp, right?
So did they name it after
like,
this song?
No, I think it's just like like if someone's drowned, right? You like, I mean, now they send divers, but there must have been, you Googled it. Was there not a time where they would like run a net along a lake to look for a body, I guess?
Yeah.
Like that seems like, because that's what the phrase is. Like this is not,
right,
I don't think Atticus invented this phrase.
Right,
and I don't
to
think
search or
either.
dredge the bottom of a body of water. You're right.
Yeah, exactly. You got to dredge that shit. So I think the idea that this is sort of designed to be, and like, the cover of this album. So this is like, this comes from Here to Infirmary. And we should talk a little bit about why this, because I think there is a, fairly significant, there's a lot of opinions.
Real quick though, also she's filing her nails while they're dragging the lake is also from Watching the Detectives, Elvis Costello. I feel like he has some credit for pop punk too, so that kind of that tracks.
Like, yeah, the first like 3 Elvis Costello albums are kind of pop punk.
Yeah,
I mean, like Pump It Up, that's a pop punk song.
Oh yeah, I used to listen to that song all the time on Encarta CD-ROM, just like the 15-second clip of it.
Yeah, just do bam bam bam. So that's what everyone comes here for. I kind of look at only being able to do 2 songs. You're kind of like, what is the thing? We talked last month about why Tomorrow Never Dies was kind of the song that you picked, and with Alkaline Trio.
But go on.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking of the.
Were you hoping that you could
James Bond
could pick a song that would have me do sort of a big epic rant? Like
no,
you did
I knew you were going to
hate.
I absolutely, yeah. I figured you'd just be like, this is so fucking dumb. I didn't think it would activate
these
you.
fucking spooky private eyes. All this shit they do.
You should definitely develop
just
a,
because
like,
you own the
anti-private
Necronomicon
eye.
doesn't mean you fucking know the netherworld.
Okay, I didn't sound like that. I was like being very reasonable the entire episode, and everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. So, like, obviously, when it comes to Alkaline Trio, God Damn It is like the record, and they've toured it, and that's like kind of the thing, and that's got like Cop on it, and Cringe, and Clavicle, and all the hits that you know and love. And then you get maybe I'll Catch Fire, which has like Radio, which is like the hit or whatever. But and then I feel like for some people, it's like you get into From Here to Infirmary, and then it starts dipping after that if you're like trying to be punk. Like
so wait,
there
is
was
this
an
one?
Alkaline
This
Trio.
album is later. I don't even know the order.
This is the 3rd album. So this is From Here to Infirmary. This is 2001. This is the first record on Vagrant. So before this, they were on Asian Man, and so they were like more of a punk band. And I sensed from because there was a dedicated Alkaline Trio podcast around the time that we were doing Blink 155 that we I'm sure have talked about at length and given
because they stole our idea.
Yeah, exactly, because we invented that format. And I feel like I've seen, because I think I follow those guys on Twitter, and like there's a general sense if you're like a punk person who's into Alkaline Trio, that it's God damn it and Maybe I'll Catch Fire, and then you kind of you sort of slowly start to divorce yourself from it. Whereas if you're like an Etnies hat guy, it's like everything from there on.
So is this their enema? Maybe. I mean,
yeah. This is the enema for sure.
Okay.
And I am here to argue that to me, I feel like it's the same as like The Divide with like Propaganda fans, where basically you have like the sort of pop punk stuff that you're into, if you sort of were into them at that time, and then you get into the sort of like more metal-y stuff that starts with Today's Empires, and there is kind of like a schism that exists there with like seemingly kind of separate and distinct fandoms. Obviously, there are people who love all that stuff, and I feel like it's the same with Alkaline Trio, where you have these like two records that are kind of the more punk records, and then this to me is where shit starts to get evil. And so that's why I wanted to do the song, because I think there is like hints of spookiness on those first two, but this is where you get like that album cover that's just the press photo with the whited out eyes. You get this like opening salvo that's like this is the first song on the record, and it's about corpses and being a spooky guy. And there's like way more like this Mr. Chainsaw's on this. Like Armageddon, like this is where the Alkaline Trio that like you're thinking of when like we're that to me also is like more Danzig-y and a little more fun and a little more unique starts to exist. And I think that goes on for several records that, again, if you hosted like a dedicated Alkaline Trio podcast, you kind of shit on those records. But to me, this is where the band actually gets interesting. Like this is the moment where, because I fucking love Goddammit and I like Maybe I'll Catch Fire, but this record, From Here to Infirmary, and this as an opening song, you're just like, oh, cool. Because it is exactly what you said, where like that opening guitar riff, you're like, yeah, like that's like, I'm learning guitar and this sounds fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. And then you get this like, just like perfect, like the fucking skiba delivery of just like dragging lakes and looking for corpses. It's the most entryway to evil Alkaline Trio song. And ultimately what I think makes this band interesting, because as good as Goddammit is, it's like, if that was just it, they'd just been a good pop punk band. Right. And instead you've got this like good band that starts to touch on these like, it's not just like cool, like an album that was recorded in a day and sounds like, great. It's like, you can like this, you can like Jawbreaker, and it's the same. It's like, this is where you get into that kind of campier side of this band that makes them more interesting than I think like a lot of their peers, even though it is the thing that like for you, but that's to me what makes it interesting is like, if we listen to a song from Goddammit, you'd be like, this is good. Like I objectively like it. Whereas you listen to this and I know that you must have been like experiencing a degree of revulsion. And that to me is like great fucking art, right? Like
that's true.
It should elicit a powerful response, and the powerful response it elicited for you was not good.
It's true.
Which it should be. And it's interesting, like, so even like the band has, mixed feelings about this. Like this is like definitely up there. I feel like every Alkaline Trio record is kind of like, the fan favorite or whatever. Like when Matt Skiba did one of these like rank your albums things for Vice, he kind of put this in the middle. He put this at number 5. And then, Dan ranked this like basically last, like hates this record.
So what's the deal with Dan? There's a guy named Dan in this band, and
there's a Dan,
and he's like, do they both write songs? The two guys?
Yeah, the two guys write, but basically like, so Dan's got like a very cool voice, and also writes like. But he's got this like very weird, like he's like, ooh. That's kind of how Dan sings.
Yeah, I'm a little scared.
And his songs are like slower, and they're way more like, ooh, go. But he sings less about like a ghost and more like, your love is now a ghost kind of thing. And he rocks so much, but basically I think he became like too happy and stopped writing songs. And so now on newer Alkaline Trio records, there's like one Dan song, and the rest is all Matt Skiba being like, cemetery, cemetery, cemetery stuff. And it rocks. But this is like, you're right to point out that the guitar rocks too, because guitar.com agrees with you. They've written an article about the genius of this album. So when you were listening to the song, did you think this is genius?
No,
like, were you bowled over by how
thought
genius
it was almost
was?
too entry level, really. But okay, that's fair.
Well, you're clearly not ready to.
The author of this article on Guitar.com has only 1,000 followers on Twitter and is a blue check. So that's cool. I do like that.
So you respect that, the idea of how many followers do you think you should have to get a blue check?
Well, I guess actually I don't respect it because he's not using it correctly. He's just trying to be relatable and funny. I think if you have a blue check and not a lot of followers, you need to do what I'm doing and, like, for example, replying to the border of Canada on Twitter when they're saying that the ArriveCan app doesn't work because of the Rogers outage. And I replied and said, thank you. I don't know why people are politicizing this so much, but thanks for the quick update. And, just riling people up with your blue check. That's what it's for. That's why they gave you the blue check. Respect it.
That is. Yeah, you're right. That's definitely. You do use it for good, for sure. Like I see you out there doing God's work. So maybe you can interact a little bit.
But maybe
with
this guy named
say,
Hugh Baines, who wrote this, maybe he's also trying to rile people up by throwing the word genius around. I mean, genius, sure. If we're talking lyrics, use the word genius as much as you want. There's a whole damn website for it. I don't think this guitar riff is genius. I do think it's connected into a history of being a teen who's learning how to play guitar, and it's sick for that reason. But I feel like I don't think this is genius. I'm sorry, Hugh and Sam.
And no, as guitar playing goes, I agree. I mean, I love the subtitle here. When punk went fully pop in the early 2000s, a trio of misanthropic outcasts with a flair for the macabre came along for the ride. And that's it. Like, I think that, saying that Alkaline Trio have a flair for the macabre, or saying elsewhere in the article, he says, they tap into the twin veins of American punk history by splicing boozy Midwestern misanthropy with schlocky goth staging, which I also think is like an amazing compliment to this. Where like that's it. Like to me, it's like it's schlock, it's camp, and I'm attracted to those things in a way that like I feel like maybe you don't want those same elements to be in music. But actually, that's interesting because I'm reading that Weird Al Seriously book and fucking loving it. And so much of what's in there is about Mad Magazine and Weird Al, which is like something that you and I do share comedically. Mm-hmm. And like Weird Al is very campy and very schlocky.
It's true. I think I like how MXPX and Blink-182 are like colorful cartoons, and then this is more like Emily the Strange cartoons. It's kind of like creepers instead of cons. It's just like for some reason I don't ever respond well to like mixing like seriousness or like macabre with pop punk.
I really that's what I was saying. I was like, am I saying macabre?
Macabre. Yeah, that's what I said when I was eating a chip earlier. Macabre. I don't know what it is. I just like want pop punk to be silly, and I think that if you're gonna try to make things that you're wanting to flirt with scariness, then you should be playing metal or hardcore or like noise or something. I don't know why. For some reason, that's just how I strongly feel.
Well, listen, Manscaped does not care for your opinions, although, it does seem like you at least might have something in common with Brad and Boast, who wrote a blog, and this is sort of representative of kind of what I was talking about, Why I No Longer Like Alkaline Trio. This is a blog from 2010. The subtitle is, or Why Any Alkaline Trio After Maybe I'll Catch Fire Isn't Worth Your Time. Damn.
Good
and this is like a real long, involved thing about how fucking cool Alkaline Trio was. And it gets to Stupid Kid, which is another single from Here to Infirmary. And Brad and Boast.wordpress.com says, it was a complete betrayal of everything we had understood Alkaline Trio to be at that point. Whereas Cringe punched you in the gut with its raw energy, Stupid Kid asked you to dance around with jazz hands. Where Bleeder cut like a knife with lines like, woke up to my daily headache and the realization that you are gone. Oh, my sweet darling happiness, you've been away from me all along. Stupid Kid spread icing with lines like, remember when I said I love you? Well, forget it. I take it back. They call Private Eye a baffling crap piece and they sort of go on. And this to me is it. It's like cringe. Old Alkaline Trio was about like raw punk energy. And this is like, to me, this is where you get, because by the time you get like 3 albums in on this like schlocky gothy version of Alkaline Trio, you can dance around to this music with jazz hands, and you should. And like that is the way to enjoy this band.
Do you think, and I assume there's a paragraph long Google coming on, but do you think that a white guy doing jazz hands is offensive? And how many different reasons do you think it's offensive to do it?
That's
It's got to be many reasons.
Wow.
But my other thought is like seeing bradenboast.wordpress.com, just scrolling around through here, I have no choice but to agree with you. And I didn't realize that this was them kind of challenging their fans by becoming spooky and almost becoming tired of their own corner they'd painted themselves into. And as someone who obviously, talks openly about my love of Weezer and Lil B and Neil Young, and I think even Steven Soderbergh fits into the category of people who just like make tons of shit all the time, and a lot of it sucks, and their fans hate a lot of it. I gotta respect it that they did this, and then they just keep doing it and turned off all the normies. So you've won me over. We're not even at an hour yet, and you've won me over.
It's already worked.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny is I hadn't even thought about the kind of Strokes comparison. And, timing wise, like, I don't know where that kind of works out because I don't know when this, but it is that like taking it's not like the guitar on this record in particular is like anywhere near like, television kind of like levels of sort of like that kind of interplay. But the idea that like the Strokes kind of took Marquee Moon and like combined it with this like very contemporary what's the word, like sort of like laconic kind of like approach to at least the way it was kind of performed and framed. This kind of takes, and when I say Marquee Moon, and like I literally mean like the fucking big build up in Marquee Moon that's like the high point of that record. And then Alkaline Trio are almost like, what if Marquee Moon was also like a Misfits song that was being played in the vein of like Suspicious Minds in the like Vegas era of Elvis.
Yeah.
And all of those things, and so the subtlety that exists on Strokes records, which like has taken me years to appreciate because I'm just fucking dumb and like I have no time for subtlety. Like this is like the version of that that's just like, what if there being really any dynamic? Because the song is pretty much just like up. And Private Eye doesn't have it, but like my favorite Alkaline Trio songwriting trope is just that the final verse is just Matt Skiba doing the first verse again, but up the octave. And it's fucking awesome. It's something we talked about a lot when we did Blink-182 songs that he sang on, is like, I do think that he has like the coolest voice. I just think he has the coolest fucking voice. That's it.
I think there's just something in me that doesn't want to love him, but every once in a while you chip away at me a little bit, and I'm starting to see it. I think I also just like don't generally love like noir stuff or like detective kind of stuff. For some reason, I just find it like boring. So that's the other thing that's like making me hold off. But I do want to add, this person who doesn't like New Alkaline Trio also in their essay argues that Blink-182 got more cred when Travis Barker joined. So I'm gonna have to close this tab before I pop
get that Aquabats credibility.
I wanted to go back to the lyrics for a second because there is a bunch of spoopy skeleton dancing going on and flies fucking on Channel 11. I don't know what kind. The lyrics are just kind of like, they just feel so Gen X to me.
They're so good.
And like 2001 was not a time to be acting Gen X. It was time to really become millennial, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm curious about this line because I can't parse what this song is about. Other than, like, and that's the thing. I actually kind of believe that it's just a list. It's like the monster verse. It's not like. It's like Jay-Z's monster verse, not like there's not like a metaphor here for anything else other than just
right.
Like
he's just naming
Private
tasks.
Eye.
Yeah.
But he does
stakeouts.
Because I was curious if you picked this for this reason too. Because we both love to talk about this interesting tension that's happened as Matt Skiba has become more famous than ever, where he is like kind of like, well, there are some good cops kind of guy. And this does end with the line, you won't have to stop saying I love cops for anyone but me, your private eye. I don't know what that means, but it does. Basically, there is a section here that you can clip Matt Skiba saying "I love cops" if you wanted to.
It's true. Yeah, he did say it. I mean, I picked this because this is the first song on what I consider to be like the split that happened. Like not the split, but the like sort of new version of their career. And it's just we love opening songs. It's been something that's happened a lot, just even in the 155
5 years ago too. Yeah,
it's true. About 5 years ago, like starting out that way. And so I think the idea of like this is how this next era of the band's career, making a jump to a bigger independent label, like that's how this is all being framed in the wake of sort of more. Like more kind of traditionally just like ragged, like indie pop punk of that like late 90s era. There is a song on Goddamn called Cop that's about, as Matt Skiba has pointed out, it's not about all cops being bad, it's about one cop that he doesn't like. But I mean, I don't really know how to like full interpret this. I think it is just like probably from liking and wanting to conjure sort of noir vibes again as part of that like framing device for like how you're going to then perceive the band moving forward. But I also think the idea of I don't know, the way I mean, it's been a long time for me and you, but like early on in relationships when you're like trying to parse like and especially because I think both of us experienced like of the bulk of our courting our wives or single lives in a world where we didn't actually have like cell phones and whatnot, is like trying to figure out like if you were being too fucking weird. I don't know, for me, like I think of that, right? And that's what this song kind of conjures for me, is like that sort of high school type memory of like, am I appropriately like trying to kind of like generate opportunities to like be around this person, or am I being fucking weird? Like, you end up sort of feeling a little crazy in that sort of construction of the early stages of a relationship. And so like the whole Private Eye thing and then the I Love Cops thing being a little bit of a like, I don't know, like attempt to sort of bring a sort of understood existing power dynamic and apply it into this like kind of relationship context. But I don't know. Even as I'm saying it, I feel like I'm bafflingly full of shit.
Amazing. I mean, I was trying to read it and listen to you at the same time, and I was like, is Ham's getting that from old rotten milk someone left in the sink?
Yeah.
I drank my insides raisin dry. There's no way people are not seeing the camp when they cover it. But you know what?
Well, we've seen, I don't know. We haven't seen the covers yet, so who knows? I don't know that Alkaline Trio see the camp in it when they perform it. Do we want to watch a couple of live videos?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Of the trio themselves. So here they are doing it at Gilman in 2000. So I don't even think it's out yet at this point.
Oh shit!
And they are still signed to Epic.
Sam getting fat. Hey, this song's not Private Eye. Sorry about the delay.
Oh no, I think people sing along in this video. So I think
This is from 2000?
yeah.
Wow, look at everyone moshing.
He's got the Not My President shirt on.
Wait, on God damn it.
Wait, how is that?
Yeah,
Maybe the
he
time
was
is wrong on
he
this.
was president in that was
But was
that's
the Not
the
My
right-
President stuff in the wake of 9/11?
No,
or
it
just
was
in the
before,
wake of
I
him
think.
being elected?
I think it was
Okay.
before.
Oh yeah, people are singing. This is cool though. Like, listen, it's this. I just love the fucking groove that this band exists in. Like, there are a lot of
Well, that's what I was
Alkaline Trio
gonna
songs that
ask
sound
you.
exactly like this. It's so good.
Did they have some Oompa Oompa Fast songs on like the first album or no?
There's Oompa. No, not Oompa. There's no real Oompa, but there's like faster stuff.
They're too evil for the full-on punk polka.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's like that open E. Dan is just like snapping his fingers. Like, I haven't seen this band play that much. One of the only times that I did see them play, they did Goddamn It front to back, and then between the sets, both Matt and Dan came out and played solo sets. And Dan was wearing like a sort of fake don't know how you describe it. Like, you know the sort of shirt that Austin Powers wears, like the really, like, a lot of stuff in the front. Yeah. And that's just how spooky they are. And then you'll love this.
Everyone stopped moshing. Also, I've noticed.
Just being respectful. This is them playing it in Chicago. In 2002, this is a Halloween
looks like
show.
The,
so we got
videos
straight up
down.
inverted cross here. Wait, what'd you say?
The video's upside down.
Oh, right, yeah. So like this is where, again, to me it's like they look. I guess they're coming back out for an encore. I hadn't watched the beginning of this, so all black.
I feel like they invented.
Is Dan in a priest outfit? Is he in like a priest outfit?
I think they must be the reason Green Day did the black and red business casual.
Maybe, because this is 2002. I mean, like, does it get more evil? Does it get more anti-MXPX than this?
Derek had to pee.
So I think some people think that the cross was initially upside down. The artistic representations have changed it to be.
Really?
I think so.
Do I think that the upside down cross looks cooler because I'm just a bad boy like that, or do you think that it looks cooler too?
I think cross classic can't beat it. I mean,
that's
the Justice logo, the Justin Bieber Justice ripoff shirt. It's all.
What do you think do you think a cross, a crucifix is when you actually have like a depiction of Jesus on it, right? That makes it a crucifix?
I actually don't know. I mean, I didn't just read trivia about Christianity. I guess that's what a lot of people do.
Isn't it? The Bible is just one big trivia, bathroom reader, right? So this is also good because you get to this point where Alkaline Trio had kind of drummer problems for a little bit, and so by this point you've got Derek Grant on drums, who for my money is also one of the most interesting pop punk drummers, always doing something kind of cool, and the band is infinitely better with him in it. So even this, it's simple, but there's just in that groove, and look how spooky they look.
Yeah, I really do not like Matt Skiba's vocal delivery of this. He doesn't sound laconic at all, and everyone's singing along like this. There's no all the camp is gone. It's in their outfits, but everyone is being very sincere about this.
But again, I think can you not I don't think this camp have to be intentional in that sense.
I don't know. I'm not really interested in camp usually, so I'm not really sure. I like kitsch
also,
more.
has he painted a more pronounced widow's peak on his head there? Yeah. That's definitely a painted widow's peak, right?
Yeah, look at it.
All right, well, let's just one more, because I love an on-stage video. This is them playing it on stage at Chicago Warped Tour in 2007, and it's just sick because it's so massive.
Wait, we need to see a new one too. I think after this.
I don't think we have to do that.
Is it? Is it sad?
I don't know, they're just not it's diminishing returns at some point. They're not a super dynamic live band, they kind of stand around, people are singing. But I just love this is cool.
This is so cool.
Feels so big.
I would love to be backstage on this stage. It's so sick.
Yeah. I mean, look, it sounds like shit. Only you and I are watching the video, but just trust us.
Good.
There's a lot of people.
If you don't like how that sounds, then you need to stop listening to the show for good. If you thought that sounded too blown out, then you need to fuck right off. Okay?
I think that's fair. Now, look, next week or 2 weeks, we will probably talk about an Alkaline Trio song where Matt Skiba goes up the octave, and we could spend a long time talking about it. But this song does have beautiful Matt Skiba doubling. Just when you got two Skibas, that tone, there's no one doubles a vocal like Matt Skiba. And Private Eye, while I think both Dan and Matt have talked about the fact that this record doesn't have the harmonies that sort of they've had previously, and then they have kind of a gang, so it's sort of done in a hurry or whatever. For me, the doubling, the corpses, the guitar, what a gift, what a spooky time, and I feel like this is, for me, the right sort of stake in the ground for the evil half.
So you're already doing final thought. Are you trying to get out of listening to all these covers?
I'm not getting out of it. I just no. I can't wait to listen to the covers that are going to just only enhance both of our appreciation of the song.
So, but I guess, like I said, I got the covers together before I had ever heard the song. And so I think this might not be a cover of Private Eye to start off with.
Oh, yeah.
This is by the Busto Power Trio on SoundCloud. Check them out, Busto. But it was hashtag punk also. So I thought, this is hashtag punk, and it's Private Eye by Busto. I mean, maybe it's the song. Let's try to find the song in here.
Yeah, they're really boosted. They're boosted all over the place, eh?
This does actually sound like what the lyrics read like. Like if you did the lyrics like spoken word and you're Vincent Price right now, I think we could really...
Yeah, okay, hold on. I dragged this lake looking for corpses, dusted for prints, pried up the floorboards. Pieces of planes and black box recorders don't lie. I've been preoccupied with these sick sixth senses that sense DNA on barbed wire fences. Maybe someday I'll find me a suspect that has no alibi.
That's too good, actually. We need to stop right now because
that was good, right?
We crossed over into some other kind of podcasting that only exists on an app that you can get in board game cafes, I think. So we need to go back.
Yeah, this is a geo-locked, geo-fenced. You can only access it Snakes and Lattes locations.
Oh my god, that was definitely a shout out to the Busto Power Trio for sure. That was a cover.
Yeah,
definitely.
I feel boosted right now. Yeah.
So similarly, there's no parodies of the song, but there is this Pepe the Frog.
Because you can't parody something that's just so.
That's
perfect.
actually true. You mentioned Weird Al earlier. This is kind of like the 30 Rock Weird Al kind of situation, but there is this Pepe the Frog Taylor Swift mashup with the song, which I thought.
Oh, good.
I don't think it really works at all, but. Does this existence suggest that Taylor Swift is evil, not good?
Oh, yeah, Taylor Swift's definitely.
That's true. That's the official stance of the pod.
Yeah, but like in a cool way. Oh no.
Well, I guess the vocal melody is almost similar to the guitar riff.
Similar, but there's some stuff in there that doesn't quite work.
Oh yeah, I see.
Oh yeah.
Need to shift the.
Yeah.
You know, if we had gotten DRMC to mash it up, probably would have been a lot better than that.
It would have been, yeah. But like a cool idea.
Loser on YouTube, whoever you are.
Damn.
So there are a few, big time covers too. Some famous people covered it. I think we'll start with who keeps popping up. I wonder if we'll ever do a month or something about these guys. I don't know if there's anything interesting to talk about with any of the members, maybe former members or anything like that. Newfound Glory covered it in Tucson, Arizona. Punk and Drunk is the uploader. And they're wearing like matching Letterman jackets, and also, Matt Skiba just ran on stage.
Oh,
they're wearing
Alkaline Trio.
That's what they're on tour with Alkaline Trio, I think.
Yeah, varsity jackets. I mean, what a logo!
Wait, so that's Matt Skiba of the hardcore dancing.
Matt Skiba's cool.
Oh, that's so embarrassing. It's funny though.
Good. Just Matt Skiba two-stepping on stage with Newfound Glory while they cover Private Eye.
Knowing that Matt Skiba can do a funny two-step is pretty sick. I got to agree.
Here's the thing, Matt Skiba, he likes some of the problematic stuff, but there's no doubt that man loves punk stuff.
I wish every live video sounded like Mert's bow like this.
Yeah. I think the next Alkaline Trio record is the one with Death in June on it.
Are we going to talk about that?
Well, maybe maybe. I read an interview with him where he was like, I know where his heart is. He's not a bad guy. Is he just checking his fucking phone?
I mean, this must be pretty recent.
Can we keep hold on? Does he hold on? Does he? Let's keep this sort of ran off stage. Is he going to come back and do something? All right, it's fine. We can move on.
Well, I thought that's so funny because I saw the guy two-step. Oh, he does. He comes on and does
push-ups. Okay,
push-ups.
Vatskiba starts doing push-ups at one point. Okay.
When I watched it earlier, I was like, there's someone two-stepping embarrassingly to Alkaline Trio, and it looks annoying. But now that I know it was Matt Skiba, he's winning me over. But the funny thing is, the other famous band that did it also features Matt Skiba. I think if Matt Skiba's in the house, you got to cover this song. So this is A Day to Remember, who I've never heard, but I think that cool new pop punk band that you like and I like, that I forget what they're called. I think that's some members of that are. I think it's. That.
I thought it was because that sort of really killed the vibe for me. I was like, who are these kids? Isn't it someone from the story so far?
Oh, maybe that. I actually don't know the difference, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean they're all. I mean, I think the story so far is possibly younger because they're like named after a Newfound Glory song as opposed to A Day to Remember, which are named after whatever
the calendar. They're named after the damn calendar.
Yeah, exactly.
Named after my freaking dentist appointment. I'm trying to remember what the name is of that cool band, though, because they're sick, and I would love to shut them out. Oh, No Pressure? Yeah, No Pressure.
Yeah, No Pressure fucking rocks.
Now we need to know who they share members with. I don't know. Who cares?
I think it's story. So look, I'll look it up while this is happening.
The story so far, you're right. Okay, so it's not A Day to Remember, so I don't know who... I don't really know where I am at this point, and we are potting during the day. It's very confusing. But here's A Day to Remember with Matt Skiba.
Make some noise for Matt Skiba from Blink-182. And Alkaline fucking Trio.
Wow. They got him to play guitar on it, too.
So do you think he's going to be able to two-step?
When people two-step while playing guitar, that's one of the funniest things you can do.
Yeah.
I don't think these people know this song, do they?
There's no way.
This is like AV Club commenter music again.
It's not even like this is the most popular Alkaline
They made
Trio
the
song.
ADTR thing look like at the drive-in.
Oh, yeah.
That's
cool.
The Alkaline Trio, not at the... I saw Wait, at Drive the... This one is way less fun than the Newfound Glory.
No, because watching the guy do like
depressing.
Watching the singer do like "I'm cool" strut to this again doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. He does like the.
Like he's basically like moving like he's rapping. Like he looks.
He looks like it honestly feels like when you like the old One Direction videos where each member would have a turn walking around singing. Also, this is on their official channel, A Day to Remember.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of people singing. Is this like in Chicago or something?
Well,
people are
it is in Chicago.
That's
it.
Okay,
but also,
I was like, you could hear people singing.
It's so hard to tell, like, because when he was playing guitar, when it cut, he wasn't looking up at the mic or at the crowd. It seemed like he forgot his cue again. And I feel like he's had to learn so many Blink songs around this time, too.
Oh, maybe,
that, like,
yeah.
I feel like he's just, a lot to remember and kind of slipping up, which I think is charming, too. He's not a
lot to remember. Yeah.
Well, so that's kind of the celeb zone. But this band also seems to pop up all over the place. This is Love Breakers. This is from the Vagrant Records tribute. Your favorite, Vagrant Records.
Oh, yeah.
Although, sorry, this is a tribute to bands on Vagrant, so I don't know who Love Breakers is.
I mean, it sounds great.
They're from Birmingham. Birmingham. They released their debut EP generating great reviews, so that's good.
I love to generate great reviews. That's awesome.
Congrats on generating great reviews.
This is cool.
It's not. I don't think it's cool. I don't think there's a point of doing a cover like this.
Yeah,
there's so much you could change. You could change the speed. He's even kind of singing it like the.
Yeah, they doubled it. It's great. Got that doubling.
Sounds so thin. Also, double up the guitars. How about? I don't know why I'm being so mean. I'm sorry. Love breakers, but fuck off. Next.
Wow. More like hate breakers for if you're Josiah. What happened to good?
No, yeah, that's true. Fuck, I've been called out. I've been called in. That sucks.
Yeah,
that hurts.
that's right. I know.
Okay, well now we're gonna get into the more fun stuff. This is a bass cover, "Private Eye" by Alkaline Trio, and it's by Skate Rat Attack from let me see, from the year 2010. A bass cover. I played around with this song a bit, so don't freak out. It's one of my favorite Trio songs. So
I'm gonna freak out.
Calm down.
I might freak out.
Calm down. But
We'll see.
What you will likely freak out about is this guy's bass playing habitat, because it's methinks he's a bit of an academic or something, or someone is.
Oh wow! Wow, is he a bass player or a book player?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what is?
Oh wow!
There's so many aesthetic questions I have. It seems like he's wearing like a collarless shirt under a scoop neck sweater with baggy like painter's jeans, and he has swoop hair. Like he's giving like 4 different eras of John Krasinski with his look alone. And then
and then like this real like serious bass guy stance.
It seems like a grandpa's basement. This actually looks like my grandpa's old basement, actually.
Yeah.
There's no way this is
that
his
chair, the carpet.
This is an old person's room. It must be.
Yeah.
Maybe even an old person who recently died, because there's so many books half packed away. But there's also like one of those weird like plastic acoustic guitars leaned up, and then another.
Yeah, this is a weird. Like,
there's so many weird things happening.
Like all of it's really out of time. I do like, I'm not gonna freak out though. I like what he's done.
Yeah, he's
2010. This, I guess,
it seems like
this
2000.
Is what 2010 looked like.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right to me either.
Yeah. Like this, it looks like a set.
It's so weird. I wonder if he does anything at the end. He just kind of lets it ride out. Oh, yeah, there we go. That was worth it.
Yeah, there we go.
He owned
You're playing
it.
bass now, buddy.
Skate Rat Attack, it's your song now, buddy. Fuck this Dan guy. It's yours. Here's another bass cover. This one, I just thought this guy was so cool. I mean, just in general, he kind of has like a online wizard kind of vibe. Maybe a little bit World's Fair. If you've not watched World's Fair yet, this is kind of the vibe, this video that we're watching that you can't see. So that's cool. This is The Darkest Nights XX has uploaded this.
Yes.
Me playing Private Eye. Shit quality. Let the flaming begin. Don't know why it's so badly out of sync. Go figure. Aw. So he seems kind of...
I liked your delivery on that, too.
Yeah, maybe I was feeling that way, too. But I think, so he kind of has like a goatee and he has like metalhead hair. And there's like really scary art on the wall that you could see in his closet mirror. Like there's like a screaming face or something. You see that?
Oh, wow.
You guys have metal bass?
There was like a real reveal there.
Yeah, it's true.
In the first frame, he was kneeling down to hit play, and then he stood up, and there was a surprise reveal of this fucking... I mean, it's not a warlock. I don't even know what this is.
It's like a homemade, like, forged by a wizard.
It's twice as big as him.
He's also just playing a totally different song, is probably why it's not in sync.
Why is he playing it like that?
Maybe he like learned it by ear and he's new at bass and he just found like, because I think it technically fits. It's just like harmonizing with the song.
I don't know that it technically fits.
Maybe his...
I like it though.
You know what? Maybe his bass is in drop D and he didn't realize.
Yeah. No, because those two notes are right. Yeah, you're right.
I think the bass is in drop D, maybe.
I love this.
It's so sick. It's like perfect. It's like, I feel like I'm watching a newer American movie or something. I love it so much. So similar vibes. Up next, well, I just thought this was interesting because it's a uke guy who has like so many Funkos. Like there's just so many Funkos. And he's wearing also a Danzig sweater. he's like kind of a combination of like 100 different kinds of things that we've talked about before.
He looks like Jon Favreau being run through the Irishman filter. Like he looks like someone tried to make Jon Favreau look like he was 12, but also didn't get rid of his facial hair. And then he's got the Danzig shirt and the Funkos, and
then I don't know, are those like fantasy novels or are they DVD? I think they must be. Actually, I think they're Star Wars novels, maybe, at least on the bottom shelf.
It looks like the top. Yeah. There's definitely some novels. There's got to be some DVD. There's got to be like some Buffy seasons or something.
I got my Alfred E. Newman Funko here, but I've got full on Funko fever. Now that they announced they're doing a whole U2 series, it's like I got to get back in the game big time. So I don't know if anyone wants to start buying me Funkos, that would be much appreciated.
Now's the time. That could go on your Amazon wish list.
So this is Luke, I guess. Luke Seamoop. Seamoop? I thought it was going to like animate and say Seymour, but I think it's Luke Seamoop.
I can't stop thinking that it's...
You've nailed it, the description.
Favreau in like that weird Celine Dion movie.
Looking for corpses, dusting for prints, proud of the floorboards.
You're kind of singing it like Babe Ruth or something, or like it's like has La Blogotech feel.
Yeah, totally.
Funko, like La Blogotech nerd bedroom edition.
I mean, he's nailing it. This is great.
He's great.
I wonder if by the end of it, like, you'll like the melody.
I kind of already do. I kind of like the song, to be honest. Okay, here's another uke. This is the Song a Day Challenge, day 4. This guy's like way more Yuki with it.
Yeah.
He's like strumming with such seriousness.
Looking for corpses, dusted for prints, pried up the floorboards, pieces of planes, and black box recorders. Don't lie.
This is Pockets Uke too.
Occupied with the six senses, it sends DNA on barbed wire fences. Maybe someday I'll find me a suspect.
He's gonna do a song every day for a month. If it all goes well, do it for a year. This is in 2012. He's definitely still posting.
I mean, it's great. It's all great.
Yeah, this is cool.
Turns out this song kind of works on the uke.
It's a very uke. Let's see if this uke works.
It's uke friendly.
It is uke, and this guy's got a Grateful Dead shirt too.
Wow, look at his hair.
He kind of has like sensey lighting too. This is so there's always puns. These other ones have had puns too. I think this is one of the best uke puns I've seen because I don't even know how to say it. It's like drive through uke.
Oh, drive through. That's funny too.
Drive through with uke. No, this is the most Blogotech ass one.
Yeah, send this man running through the streets of Paris.
But he's also like, kind of looks like a jock. He's a sensitive jock who likes the alcohol. This man hits everything. I think I'm in love.
Oh yeah. I like that. Look at that hair.
So many downstrokes on the uke too. I'm in love. I'm in love with this guy. Drive through uke.
Drive through, baby. She's thinking about something so sad.
This kind of
so preoccupied.
Lyrics are so stupid when they're delivered like this. It's amazing.
Yeah, just like being really serious about it.
Okay, this is a band called As Long As We're Alone. Except I think it's acoustic and also I almost can't tell if it's a joke or not with the MS Paint artwork.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to be funny.
Now, I think the funny thing is I think it's going to work really well on uke, and I think the acousties are really where we're going to suffer for the next hour or so.
I feel like you're right, but yeah.
Drag this lake, looking for corpses,
dusted for prints, pried up the floorboards, pieces of
Yeah, like,
this one is kind of like
box recorders, don't lie.
fifth wave emo delivery, though.
And I've been
Yeah.
preoccupied with these six
Yeah, like if you told me this was like one of the new hot bands,
Yeah,
I believe you.
Something that like, oh, this is Ian Cohen at Pitchfork's favorite band. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. That man has too much power. This song makes me think that Ian Cohen has too much power.
New Year's Eve was as boring as heaven.
I don't know. This is pretty sick, though. Actually, I kind of like that one. Fuck, maybe I'm gonna like them all. Maybe on Friday when I was the only man on the internet in Canada, I was just it was a different. Maybe now that I'm not alone.
A 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, maybe.
Ooh, okay.
So, I just think we need to experience that again. This is Neil Matheson. He's got a freshly cut normie mohawk going on, and he leans back on the couch with his dark blue acoustic guitar and does this.
A 1, 2, 3, 4.
One, two, three, four.
That's an Ibanez acoustic. Oh, did we say that already?
I didn't notice it was an Ibanez.
Acoustic is Ibanez, yeah. And he's got like the kind of mohawk that you have if you're in like 3 Days Grace.
Corpses dusted from prints, dried up the floorboards, pieces of plate, black box recorders don't lie.
He's pretty good though.
Yeah. A lot of eye contact though. I kind of need to take away.
What does he do at the end of the vid? I feel like he's gonna do something cool when it's over. Does he have like a superhero shirt? I think.
Hard to.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He knows.
Hard to tell. I don't know.
He's a
what's
fucking
under.
pimp when he ends it.
Yeah.
So this is Abigail Fury. Kind of a very like vibey sort of. She's very like grooving. Ooh, a little face.
See, like, at least I feel like she's delivering it like it's a musical theater song.
It's true.
Yeah, like this is like if you were like, this is a song from Wicked.
Yeah,
You know?
like every syllable should have a different facial expression. that is
Exactly.
delivered
Yeah, you're acting
wavily.
too, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
New Year's Eve was as boring as heaven. I watched Flash Fuck on channel 11. There was
Hit
no
that fuck hard. Oops.
Oh, that's okay. We're good. That was it kind of reminded me of like the
Oh, I skipped too far. No, because I haven't scrolled down to the end. I skipped too far ahead. I gotta find her again. Abigail Fury. Okay, that's we got the vibe.
Were you checking how many were left? Is that how painful this
I'm
is?
always doing that. I always start at the. I always have my watch together at the very bottom. So when we get to the sort of last page in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, good.
Yeah, her delivery reminded me of I can't even remember what it's called right now, but the Lin-Manuel Miranda Freestyle Love Supreme.
Oh, Freestyle Love Supreme, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I watch every video they post. I watch it just to feel something.
Do you comment?
We've definitely interacted before, but okay, this is Samuel Cohen. I think this is like a more kind of normal acoustic. He's not really being annoying with it.
Oh wow, great like opening though. Some real iMovie flex there.
Yeah.
Now,
And I
what's
can't
his
tell,
shirt?
does his shirt say Blood Pact?
Yeah, is that what it is?
I love that he looks like an army man who can just barely play guitar. But also, like, if anyone was to ever criticize him, he could snap them in half.
I mean, this does look like industrial. Like it reminds me of the dorms in the outdoor ed center where I went to music camp.
Oh, true.
Like I wonder if you're right. Because like remember, I've been thinking a lot about the guy
boat?
doing the covers on the ship where he's like, I'm just at sea for weeks and I don't have internet. And then that like finding other people who work on ships and doing those collabs. Like I've been thinking about that for a week.
That was really cool.
It was so cool.
I can't really parse it from his channel, but he pretty much only does Alkaline Trio covers or originals. He performs at somewhere called Mesh Sport Lounge. Where's that?
Mesh
Sport Lounge. New Bern, NC. By Fly's Bike Shop. Oh my God.
Is there a big army base there?
No, but wait. Yeah, I just searched the place, and on Google Maps, this guy is the main image that shows it. He's like the star of this strip mall bar.
Oh wow,
That's so cool.
open night at the Mesh. Play it again, Sam.
Oh, he just did check out this chord he just did by accident.
Sorry, the other photo, like kind of just below it, if you scroll down, it's just like a woman checking her phone. Like I don't know if she's given her permission to. Oh,
Shout
the
out
Mesh
to
looks
Sam,
great.
King of the Mesh.
Show it the Mesh Sports Bar.
So good. That was cool. I mean, I don't know if you heard it, but he did a really fucked up chord that sounded sick as hell. It was like jazzy.
Sorry, I was kind of distracted for sure.
Well, here's like a kind of a softer acoustic guy. He's like more wimpy with it, and he's got a great
lot of t-shirts.
Fan
Everyone's
on.
wearing some kind of t-shirt.
kind of insane graphic tee. Look at his like wallpaper in his room.
Yeah. They're all
And that last guy had like a
real old-timey beauties.
the last guy had like a ratty towel hanging up. This guy has left his closet open.
But and the wallpaper is like it's like like sort of like reclining women from like the 1860s.
That's true. And then there's like a framed goth lady on the left side too.
Yeah. This is weird. I like it.
There's a nice sort of loud AC unit humming. This is BT Brotherton. Was watching people play Alkaline Trio covers, so I decided to record my version of Private Eye. My voice ain't that good, but whatever. Aw, what a hunk. He's also covered the Mountain Goats, Sublime, Alkaline Trio. What the fuck? Why would he... I feel like the Mountain Goats doesn't fit with this. Maybe that would explain the old-timey wallpaper. Maybe he's like half mall goth and half kind of old-timey dandy. Or those two things are battling for his soul.
Right, those are the two.
Because like the Mountain
two Matt
Goats,
Skibas inside.
the
him.
Mountain Goats, Nutri-Milk Hotel, that's like just like, let's call it what it is. That's dandy culture, I think, isn't it? Pretty much.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, up next is I don't remember what any of these are actually because it was so long ago. So this is the Deficits acoustic Alkaline Trio.
This is all pre-outage. This comes from a different time in Canadian history.
It's true.
Oh wow!
This is pretty sick. This is Rob Giancola from 2012. His band The Deficits. Oh, wait, what?
I tried this lake, looking for corpses, dusted for prints, brought up the floorboards.
Now, where do you think this guy's from? Singing like this.
I mean, I'll be honest. I googled and I was like, I feel like I know that band name.
So you know.
I know. I do know the bands. But for the listener, what do you think? And then we just won't tell you.
I think that he sounds like he is an Italian pirate off the seas of Sicily.
Yeah. Just reporting on a boat, just like last week. This is so we're shockingly the Deficits are from Richmond Hill. We definitely have some friends in common. I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah. So do you like it? Do you love it? How much did you love that?
I don't know. I wonder. Look at the Deficits have received reviews from Punk News and Exclaim. So let's see.
Sam Sutherland.
If I have reviewed. No, not by me. It looks like.
Oh, who wrote it? Me?
No, it's just in their bio on Facebook.
They're probably lying. People always pretend.
Let's see, Slam review. No, it's not showing up.
Well, sorry. I hope I don't ever cross paths with you because I really didn't like it at all. I think you need to not sing like that. Don't do that. All that stuff that you just did, don't do it, please. And I liked how it was
Not
slow,
unreasonable.
Just stop doing that, please. Deficits guy. Up next is something else that I don't know where I am at in my thing. This is Ty Walker, I think. Oh yeah, this one is crazy. So this one I like. This one has vibes of like punk rock open night, punk rock karaoke.
I just unplugged my headphones. 1 second. Don't talk about any of the vibes.
Sam is so dumb. Sam is so dumb.
I hope you're not talking too much about cool vibes. Okay, I'm back. Tell me about the vibes.
Well, maybe that's what happened is the vibes are so bad on this one, or scary at least, but in a weird way.
It's the thing. It's kind of like unexplained phenomena.
It's like this looks like it's like a punk rock karaoke that your like local Irish pub would have once a month, where they just probably sing this song over and over again. But the video that accompanies it is like a Nikon Coolpix slideshow with like 2 different photos only, and it just makes it seem like one or both of them are dead. So this is Freddie Lamb and Thane Michael with this like I bet you it's not, but it feels like a memorial.
We always end up doing because it's fucking pretty awesome. It's an Alkaline Trio song called.
Yeah, what? Oh, it's a real slow fade in.
There's also a lot of these coming up have really, really bad introductions. Just so you know.
Great, this is the bad introduction section.
He's like, it's a really fucking awesome song. I mean,
he's right.
Do you think these guys are dead? Is that why it's? Yeah, like the frames are. Like, what is this? The photos. Do you like it, or what do you think?
I just like, I can't, like, I'm looking at the photo right now. It's just like, 2 guys with acoustic guitars in like a real Seattle, Pacific Northwest sports bar. There's a Coors Light, Mariners stuff behind them. It's a weird vibe.
It's such a slow and sad version of the song, and these pictures are also like 100 DPI.
And it's so quiet. Like, I had to turn it up so loud.
It just got to a different photo that has like a full hand over the camera, and it's also almost the exact same photo as before.
Oh, this is so spooky, man.
The photos are so good.
Yeah. No. I'm upset. I feel like these guys died for sure.
Or maybe we've died.
Someone is dead. Someone is dead because of this.
I think these are the guys is why I thought I didn't like the song, if that makes sense.
Right, that's fair. Yeah. No, I mean, there's these guys' energy all over the Alkaline Trio discography.
Well, the energy continues with this thing that's called Virtual Open Mic. Is the name of this, and this band is called Unassuming Heroes. Virtual. Well, it says Housebound Heroes. Maybe this is their quarantine sessions virtual.
Oh, nice.
Whoa! What the
they have
fuck?
A theme song?
Okay, the theme song's incredible. This theme song's so sick. There's like an old man. I never saw. I was skipping around earlier. I didn't know this. Sick as hell.
So it's just like a cut of like.
This sounds like this is what Red Cross sounds like, right?
Yeah, this group of people that's like the Avengers of like people who play at open mic.
We need to learn about the
bars.
unassuming. Maybe they're like NHS or something. Oh, great theme song. But then it just gets incredibly depressing and scary again. Well, it was dedicated to the NHS. I was correct in that sense, but
yeah.
The Unassuming Heroes.
Yeah, I mean, it just says that they love NHS, so I don't know. Maybe they are all.
We started out originally hosting a variety of punk, rock, ska, core, hardcore gigs at a function room at the Royal Oak Pub in Oldham. This is where we started Unassuming Heroes. Over the years, we've grown in popularity around the greater Manchester area. So I guess they're just like a karaoke band.
Yeah.
I mean, these are a couple of... These guys, though, like, I don't even know how to describe them, really. I feel like I don't know enough about British culture to be able to describe these 2 blokes, but I will say the guy with the, like, red, flattened Liberty spikes and the thin sideburns He's wearing, among other things, a Gogol Bordello hoodie. He's the guy who's singing right now. And then the acoustic guy has I think a Nevermind the Bollocks parody sticker of some kind on his acoustic guitar. And they're using a little bit of that effect, the Linklater effect that is on like Cool Picks camera.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm dreaming.
I feel like I'm
Ethan
dreaming.
Hawke gonna show up?
I love the I didn't know they had a theme song. I love that so much. That's so cool. Keeping these vibes
the
up.
theme song was definitely the highlight for sure.
Just real quick, this one I just thought was a pretty cool man cave.
Oh yeah.
He's like somehow filming it. He's singing like Jack Johnson. He's wearing a Deadpool shirt, and he's like definitely like in like the show Nashville. He would be like a hot dad who like is secretly evil or something. He has like Nashville hot energy, but he's also got a Fight Club. I just love how it's filmed in this like. It's like somehow filmed in portrait mode from a new iPhone.
Yeah, like the thing is, like it sort of looks like it's trying to do like a shallow depth of field thing, but it's just like very weird. It's like very unsettling. This sort of blurry background with the Fight Club poster and like insert from an Elvis record or something up on the wall.
Yeah, it's sick as hell. Also, his name's Johnny Burke. Similarly, real quick, Jeffrey here. I just thought it was funny that this kid wanted to show off this Oktoberfest banner so prominently.
Oh yeah.
Like, why? Is that a thing?
Having an Oktoberfest banner up in your house?
As like the only sort of piece of
make it last
person.
all year. Yeah.
The door is also
the
like
Oktoberfest
rotting.
Banner is like our people's crucifix, you know, for drinking. Oh. He kind of looks like the guy from Patriot.
Yeah, he kind of. That's true. That is true. Is he doubling the vocals in real time?
He's definitely got, I think, 2 mics.
Maybe if one of them is delayed a little bit. Also, why is the Oktoberfest banner moving so much?
Yeah, no, it's waiting.
It
Looks like it's the Patriot guy
store.
mixed with Michael Bublé.
He definitely he's definitely, and he's also killing the cover. I just don't understand the Oktoberfest banner. So that's all I wanted to say about Jeffrey Polson. Up next is Brandon. Let's go, Brandon, is what I would say. This guy has
A lot of acoustics, eh?
Martin Starr vibes, I think, like modern Martin Starr vibes. Like, there's a lot of acoustics, but this guy's doing his own thing with the vocals. And he's also, I like how he's kind of Neil Young in it with the chords.
Yeah, it is. It's very Neil.
I dragged this lake looking for corpses, dusted for prints, bright up the floorboards, pieces of plates, and black box recorders don't lie.
What kind of voice is
And
this?
I've been preoccupied with these six senses, the sense DNA. I'm barbed wire.
Yeah, I don't know.
fences.
Yeah, what's the
Maybe
impression?
someday I'll find me a suspect that has no alibi.
He almost sounds like Dave Mustaine or something.
Calling him Dave Mustaine, like emphasizing muss. I like it. No fuss, no Mustang.
I've never really ever had a conversation about that guy out loud.
You never, yeah. Dave Mustaine discourse is not a big part of this podcast.
More in the message boards where I really share my Mustang opinion.
If you want to hear Josiah's Mustang, I can't even do it. Join patreon.com/155pod Sam if you like me, or patreon.com/155pod Josiah to give Josiah the money. That's a callback to Exclusive that most of you have not heard.
I think
This
that
might not even be out yet.
no, it's out. That's why we're doing it in the right order so we don't get confused.
Good.
Yeah, okay. Well, that was a weird voice. I don't know. I'm glad.
Yeah, that was a weird new guy just dropped.
Exactly. That's definitely out of date to say that thing. This is David McEvoy. Outsider 365 is the name. This is a cover of, and this one I also just wrote down another voice. I think there's an interesting voice.
Do you think James McAvoy, and once again, kitschy shirt, we got the Camp Crystal Lake shirt.
Yeah.
Do you think James McAvoy should be more famous? Or is he like plenty famous?
It's kind of the correct amount. That Thriller he did the other year where he didn't even know what the plot was until he was done filming, that was actually a pretty good movie.
Oh, I
Forget what it's called. Another like
Drag this lake, looking for corpses, dusted for prints, right up the floor.
There's something like about. I'd be curious to know if a lot of these people like do their other covers. Do they do the same like not doing a vibrato thing?
Yeah, I know.
You kind of have to do it like that, which is fucking awesome.
I don't think it's awesome, but I agree that you have to do it. Also, he has more country vibes. There's like is there a big new country Alkaline Trio fandom crossover?
I don't know. I mean, maybe because like I feel like Alkaline Trio is like the eradication of subtlety,
Right.
and I feel like new country similarly is like a genre
That's true.
devoid of subtlety.
That's true.
Like, so is there a difference between a song that's like I'm being spooky in the cemetery and a song that's like I'm going to the bar at the corner of these two streets? Like,
there is a difference, but I see what you're saying. This is another acoustic. I think this one's cool. I mean, also it just looks beautiful. It looks like a shoegaze album cover, a shoegazy album cover, because it's like so blown out. It's like crazy.
the Cockatoo Twins for sure.
Yeah, this is Morgan Reed. This is from 2006.
It basically looks like Heaven or Las Vegas, though. Yeah.
This lake, looking for corpses, dusted for
This is the kind of creepy that I think it should be. Like,
yeah, no, this is like
quietly sung, but like high gain.
And I've been preoccupied with these six senses, six sense DNA on barbed wire fences. Maybe someday I'll find me a suspect that has no alibi.
Yeah, this one's sick. That one's so sick. It blown up.
Awesome.
Shout out Morgan. This next one is a guy under some stairs. They're mostly acoustic, honestly. There's not a lot of, but this. Also, I like that he filmed it outside and it's almost completely silent. You have to crank it all the way up to, and it's mostly wind sounds. And he also has a world. What's the WWF that's not wrestling? The Panda. I think that's what his tank top is.
Yeah. Panda wrestling.
Looking for corpses, dusting for prints, right up the floorboards, pieces of planes, and black box recorders don't lie.
I was like, what's that sound? But that sound is the wind in this video.
Yeah,
he's laughing. He's just having a little smile. Oh, it's so weird. Because I live near train tracks. I keep thinking that I was like, that's the biggest fucking train I've ever heard.
I think they're just stairs, though, right? Is that?
No, it's just. But that's what I think is happening.
I know.
I think there's a train going by my house. It's,
This guy also has a 3 Days Grace mohawk eventually on his page. But I don't see, this seems to be the only one he's done under the stairs.
I feel like the wind noise, like in my headphones, that crank is like feels like.
You feel like you're gonna get.
It's a brown note or something, you know, like.
I kind of like his like sort of half lazy delivery though. He almost like, you know who I think would nail it with this song is Adam Duritz from Counting Crows. For some reason, I think he would just crush this shit. Because he's good at like selling overwritten, overwrought lyrics. But you know, this guy who's under some industrial stairs is pretty cool too. This is up next is Chris and Paige, our friends Chris and Paige.
Every time I walk by them, they
who do you like more?
Are you more of a Chris or a Paige?
And they follow me all the way to the end of the fence.
There is a lot of talking at the start.
Yeah, but I feel like if I'm right and Chris is the one who's not talking as much.
That's my friends over there. They're so cute. I love them.
I feel like Paige is. We're both Pages.
Dog and dogger.
Yeah. The one has like a little security.
Like, what are you guys doing? Edit this out.
I mean, come on, man. We're ones to talk about what's extraneous in an upload.
We at least edit it so that it's you could follow along a little bit. We don't even know what they're talking about.
1,
They're waving at a dog.
Chris has a Tim Armstrong guitar, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. The inlays are Hellcat.
Wow, this is actually beautiful, though.
Imagine you were walking your dog and you just heard this. Spooking up the neighborhood.
It's true. Also, I can smell my neighbor barbecuing outside right now, and it's really adding to this. Chris and Paige rock. I'm sorry for doubting you, Chris and Paige. Yeah, that's okay. They roll. I'm sorry. And also, Chris has a old
awesome.
Blink Bunny tattoo.
Oh shit!
So that's cool. They're sick. And I actually liked the porch talk. I'm sorry. I was just trying to, I'm just thrown off.
You're just trying to draw up some controversy. I get it. Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to let your guard down and be like, the song about stinky milk is kind of cool, actually. This one also, this is JD and the FDC's. Like, this one opens with like a full-on doc about these cover people. I don't understand why.
Wow. Very like Soviet logo.
Band practice when we're not sure what to do with the song. What do? Skeeber it. We skeeber it.
Skeeber it. What?
Wow.
We skeeber it.
I was as a casual Alkaline Trio fan.
This is Jamie
Jamie Derelict. And
no, it's
Joey
Delarick.
String.
Not even Derelict. It's Delarick. What does that mean?
Dropped.
Did he misspell his?
Dion brother.
Is his stage name a typo? That would be so sick.
Because Joey Strange is just Joey Strange.
Looking for corpses, dusted for prints, bright up the floorboards, pieces of planes, and black box recorders don't lie.
This is from 2015. I don't know why they made like a whole ass doc.
Yeah, but I don't like to talk about my show business friends.
Wire fences, maybe someday I'll find me a suspect that has no alibi.
So they're like also filming in a church or something?
I told you I don't like to talk about it.
1, 2, ski-ba.
1, 2, ski-ba.
Also, Joey Delarick has changed from a Misfits to a Misfits flatbread.
One of the guys has some kind of straight edge shirt. No offense, but if you're gonna make like a whole doc about your process, the cover needs to be a bit better, I think.
I like that Joey Delarick, because they're sitting in these like kind of high back leather chairs, but he's cashed it up by having his leg draped over the arm.
He's doing the borderline cool youth pastor stance. If he could, he would, but this is the next best thing. Is there credit to the end? I want to know if they misspelled his name.
Me, Joey Strange, I don't like to talk about my show business friends. However, there was me, Derek Grant, and Dan Adriano. Matt Skeeber was in his bunk.
Oh, that's funny how it ends. So this is JD and the FDC. So he's the main guy, JD. That's Joey Delarick. That's cool.
Okay, cool. Didn't answer. It gave us so much information, but raised nothing but questions for me.
Well, this one also kind of has a bit of a doc at the start. This is the drug test. Is the name of the band.
The bartender, Joe. Oh my God. Joe's the bartender. Joe's the bartender's son. Kyle Hobart, Tom Hobart.
Don't know what they're talking about.
This is a song by a band called Alkaline Trio. It's called Private Eye. Free Ray Ray Squad.
This is Shay on Shay Curry Radio. Shay's Hometown Throwdown, WMLN 91.5.
I love a hometown throwdown.
Farty McFly commented, amazing when the singer can sing in a different key to the guitar. Sniff my guff. Now what does that mean, sniff my guff?
Drag this lake, looking for corpses.
That's a catchphrase that has never been used before. I searched it with quotation marks. It doesn't exist. Sniff my guff. So that's something we can start saying, maybe.
With these six senses that sense DNA. I'll barbed wire fences. Maybe someday I'll find me.
He's creeping towards the key.
Yeah, he's getting there. don't know why Farty McFly
He was
was so
getting there, and then he
good.
kind of lost it again.
The filming is incredibly nauseating. Also, the singer has like that thing where you've rinsed out or taken the label off of a plastic water bottle and then filled it with juice, I think, from home.
There was nothing to drink.
Like something, it seems more like a 6-year-old would have that.
There's no reason to call.
This also sounds like the delivery by one of these, like, there's no ring, there is no ring on the phone.
Man, that one can sniff my guff. Okay, before we get to the few that I really did love, I just want to show you. This one's good too. This is somebody named Dragon Goddess singing it. And she's just singing along to it. Very intimate.
She's getting in that
setup,
headspace, yeah.
Just staring directly. Sam loves to be stared at on videos.
Yeah.
So this lady just seems to just put on the song and then cover it. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like Lenny's Oldies or whatever. Wow, she's really getting lost.
I dragged this lake looking for corpses, dusted for prints, pried up the floorboards, pieces of planes, and black box recorders. Don't lie. And I've been preoccupied.
See, like she's sort of mostly looking away when she sings, and then she'll look back at the camera, and it skeeves me right out. But this is great.
It skeeves you right out.
I'm getting skeeved out over here.
There's so much room noise in here too.
She's really vibing so extensively.
And New Year's Eve.
It would be so sick to just have this hobby and never tell anyone about it. Like we keep living our own life, but we also just have a channel where we just sit on the couch and go. You know?
Yeah, totally.
We should do
it. She's just uploading. Like she's got a couple of Alkaline Trio. Like and she's still doing. Like that was from. The one that you found is from 6 months ago, but she was still a month ago. She posted a cover of "Gone Away." I mean, that's a lot of range to sing "Gone Away."
Yeah, seriously. Well, that's what I was thinking. She seems like she might be kind of, using our newfound interior design knowledge. She seems more normie than punk, I think, and that's not a bad thing by any stretch of the term. But I'm wondering if maybe the appeal is the sort of the musical theatricality of it rather than the.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, a couple left here. This is WCG. Freezy J.
Cool cover.
Funny
really cool cover.
Freezy J seems like he's a party animal.
Yeah. Freezy J is like, oh, you're like, is Freezy J still here? Like, how do we get him to leave?
Oh my god.
I dragged this lake, looking for
that's not what I thought Freezy J was going to sound like.
Pried up the floorboards,
I love it. My favorite is the high gain.
Don't lie.
Barely any delivery.
And I'll be preoccupied with these six senses, a sense DNA.
Like it's sort of
I'm by white fences. Maybe
kind of like
someday
weird delivery where you're like, could you hear the song? Like, not,
yeah.
I don't mean this in a rude way. Of like things like, The Hobbyist.
Exactly.
Oh, this is great.
It's so cool. Freezy J. Shut up, Freezy J.
That's Freezy J.
I fucking love Freezy J.
Was as boring as heaven. I watch flies fuck on channel.
He has we won't watch it now, but he seems to have a sketch on his channel called White Epic Sax Guy. Freezy J is so tight.
I wish Freezy J would stay too long at my house.
I fucking love Freezy J. Freezy J can move in for all I care.
Epic Sax Guy.
Okay.
Wow.
Here's another one that just makes me so happy. This is what's the channel called? It's so special.
Oh
this
yes,
channel.
okay.
You can already tell. This is like a kid.
Yeah.
A kid who is like doesn't know about the cynicism of the world, the anti-Poochie of the world, to call back something I've talked about in the past. This is a kid who knows what it's like to be a kid and knows that you just want to play pentatonic scales and wear a backwards hat to be cool on a fake Les Paul. I mean, that's the shit that this is. This is music from my backyard is what this channel is called.
Awesome.
Music from my backyard, 2020. And yeah, so the intro is this kid like fucking rocking it out.
Hi, welcome back to Music from My Backyard.
Yes.
I am Bradley Davis.
Yes, Bradley.
And today we're doing Private Eye. by Alkaline Trio. And I'm introducing my new band, Alkaline Uno. I'm playing Sting Amp, so obviously I'm a professional.
Let's go.
Official music video. Everything's official if you say it is.
He's funny, too. Great banter. Wow, his backyard is nice as hell.
This is his backyard?
It looks like he lives at the damn zoo.
This is
There's like a koi pond.
Who's the last musician that we got mad at for like having rich parents?
Oh, I don't know.
This is like
Doesn't
some
sound like
real
Mitski shit.
Yeah, it's he's basically like YouTube guitar boy Mitski.
I mean, it seems like they've cut together a couple locations because he's sometimes in front of a bench and sometimes chickens. There's chickens. This is so sick.
Yeah, there's a few locations. I couldn't tell for a minute if someone else was filming it, but he's definitely just set this up and he's filming it himself.
New Year's Eve was as boring as
Alkaline Uno.
He has a band now called Secondhand Memory.
There was no one to kiss.
It's in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, this. I feel like a 10-year-old boy playing this song with the backwards hat. That's who this song is for, really.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
But I also think this next one, which is kind of the last official one of the pod, is also the ultimate lived-in vibe. This is Chris O'Connor with an electric cover of it, but he does sing along.
Gonna be doing a cover of Private Eye from Alkaline Trio.
This
Hopefully not piped up.
He's just like wandering around in the living room, like getting all hyped up.
Yes. Oh yeah, but he's using the whole space.
He's using the whole room. This is some more like modern emo shit.
Oh my god, this is so sick.
And like it's definitely like the family living room, I think.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Like this is a shared space. It's like that everyone went out to a movie.
Yeah.
I gotta study.
And then he's like, I'm gonna put I gotta study. He's also like this is just modern emo, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Barbed wire fences, and maybe someday I'll find me a suspect that has no alibi.
It's so sick.
Yes.
Oh. So I love Chris so much. I mean, he's just absolutely killing it in the family's way. Shout out to Chris. And finally, we just got this kind of creepy piano version.
Oh yeah, but they're still singing, eh?
Dream Boy Dracula.
Dream Boy Dracula, eh? That's a cool name.
Very scary art. Very World's Fair.
Yeah.
So I guess we could do final thoughts over this scary, cursed piano version. I had a great time. I think now that I know that this was kind of something that pissed off the normie Alkaline Trio I like disruptors both in tech and in music. I think that's all punk spirit. So knowing that this is a disruption anthem, I think I'm gonna buy in on this song.
I appreciate that because I think even though we've watched a lot of covers by people who might not 100% be like, your people, I feel like the people who are definitely your enemies are the people who think that the band like is not worthwhile from this point on-ish. And so I think you've chosen correctly.
As long as we're still spiting someone, then I'm happy.
Exactly. You're spiting the right people. And so I just want to say, welcome to the dark side. We are now joined officially, properly. We're doing things right this week. And we are talking to a real private investigator. We are talking to Adrianne Fekete, the founder, the director of Star Quality Private Investigations, been in the business for 2 decades, someone who can really give us the inside business on being a quote unquote private eye. Adrianne, thank you for giving us your time. and taking us behind the curtain into this world that I personally know absolutely nothing about. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I think that's one of the best intros I've ever had. Wow. Thank you.
Love to be enthusiastic and very enthusiastic about this conversation. You and I spoke a little bit earlier today. I've got like a hint of kind of the life, the career that you have led. But before we get into making you talk about the Alkaline Trio song Private Eye, I sort of sketch things out a little bit, but just to give people your bona fides, how long have you been in this business? Tell us a little bit about Star Quality, what your kind of background is in the world of private investigations.
I would love to. Thanks, Sam. Basically, I've been in private investigation and security in the world for over 2 decades, almost 2.5 actually. And I absolutely fell in love with it for many different reasons. I would say my passion really is helping other people. Yes, it is through the conduit of finding their truth, whatever that may look like. I had a bunch of friends that are former police officers, sergeants, detectives, and they, leaving their wonderful policing or law enforcement career, were like, let's open up an agency. And so here we are, how many decades later, and, serving thousands of individuals from, every walk of life, whether it's, family law, missing loved ones, corporate fraud, you name it. That's what we do. So I, fell into it for the love of helping others and, have never turned back, essentially.
Now, have you ever dragged a lake looking for corpses? Have you ever dusted for prints? Have you ever pried up floorboards? Have any of those instances ever occurred in your 20 plus years of private investigating?
Can I plead the fifth? No, I'm just kidding. So the quick answer is no, that is left up to the police.
So you're not doing a lot of dredging up lakes. This is not, so you're right out of the gate, you're telling me Alkaline Trio have been lying to us this entire time.
No, I am not saying that. I am saying that it depends on which country or province you're talking about, because we're licensed in Ontario. Private investigators across the world are mandated very differently. We have to adhere to the fact that, there's privacy laws, trespassing laws, and obviously, we can never, ever interfere in anything involving the police. If anything, we can help them, gather evidence if somebody hires us to do so. But if there's an active investigation going on, we cannot. But I do want to say something about the floorboards and about the lakes and all of those fun things.
Please.
Yes, my investigators, I'm certain, have scoured that and much worse.
Right. Okay. So there are probably worse places to scour than a lake. I mean, you obviously, as you said, you're licensed in Ontario. The band that we're talking about this week is from Chicago, and so maybe in Illinois it is different. Maybe private eyes in the state of Illinois are able to pry up floorboards. It seems possible.
We're allowed to do that. I say that just to put it out there that if we are to do that, and I'm not saying that we do or we don't, but I'm saying, of course, investigators, to gather evidence, they do whatever it takes to get our clients the evidence they need, want, and deserve, but within the parameters of the law.
Of course. And I sent you this song. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to it, but I would love to parse a few more of the lyrics and see how this resonates or does not resonate in your experience in the field of private investigations.
I'd love that.
So in addition to dragging the lake looking for corpses, Matt Skiba, who's the singer of Alkaline Trio, also sings "Pieces of Planes" and "Black Box Recorders Don't Lie." Now, a plane crash seems like something that would more than likely involve, like, would a private investigator ever be called in the instance of a plane crash? Is that something you have experience with?
So I'm going to say yes and no. So typically, correct, that is, law enforcement, unless, of course, it's a private plane and people hire us on a private basis after the police have done their search and rescue and their due diligence. They have definitely called us in. And I will also tell you that since all of our amazing male and female investigators are former law enforcement folks, they have definitely done that in their career.
Okay, well that is interesting. Now, what about they also sing about being preoccupied with I'm having trouble enunciating here. Sixth senses. So, do you feel like to be a good private investigator, do you need a little bit of that sixth sense for justice to solve these mysteries?
100%. You need to think outside the box. You need to be intuitive. You need to be experienced. You need to know your clients. You need to know how to profile people. So yes, 100%.
Now, the song goes on to say, you won't have to stop saying, I love cops for anyone but me, your private eye. Now, how much do people love the idea of having their own private eye? Is there in general, I mean, I'm sure people come to you in sort of various states of duress, but do you think some people love the idea of having their, like, you're my private eye? Did you get a sense of that with some of your clients?
100%. That's such a great statement and said so creatively and so true. You know, people always want to be a fly on the wall. You know, I think we spoke earlier that I used to get and still get lots of, you know, wonderful invites and people, I'm sure they think I'm fine, but they really just want to hear my stories. And, you know, people, and I'm kind of like, okay, we're here. I kind of didn't want to talk work, but okay, we can chat about, you know, an anonymous story. But absolutely. I mean, I think, you know, at the end of the day, you really do have to have a sense of your clients, where they're at. People never call us because they're happy and they want to find the truth. So it doesn't matter if it's a cheating spouse, if it is, you know, a missing child or a deceased loved one, or missing assets, fraud, whatever the case may be. They might have tried to go the traditional way and they got no answers, or they were not satisfied with their answers. So they come to us knowing that we can go a little bit outside the box of what normal, let's just say, an investigation would look like. You know, there's clients, sadly, I have to fire, and people are very confused. They're like, but, you know, isn't this a business? You know, absolutely, it's a business. But, you know, people do get addicted to investigations. It sounds kind of odd. But, you know, I've had clients for years and I said, listen, you know, I don't think he's cheating anymore. Yes, I know we found that out 4 years ago. But I think it's either time to, you know, leave the relationship or trust, because, you know, he or she is not doing anything. So, you know, yeah, it becomes addictive. And I think people love it.
So interesting. And I mean, the idea, you and I did talk about this a little earlier today, that you are a popular dinner party guest because, you know, when I go to a dinner party, no one wants to talk about a podcast about Alkaline Trio, but people do want to talk about private investigations. Now, do you find is your social circle mostly other people kind of in this business, or is it people who have no idea what you do and everything you tell them is the craziest story they've ever heard?
I'd say a little of both. So, all of our, you know, close-knit circle are former law enforcement folks. And then we have people in completely different industries, but everybody knows what we do. And the point is, because I'm always, you know, we work 24/7, 365. There's, you know, not a minute of the day that we are not on and connected with our clients and doing the business. So whether, you know, I'm at a hockey game or whether, you know, I'm walking the dog, you know, we are always on, always connected, always on the phone. You know, I've had people, you know, stop me and say, oh, I saw you on the news. Can you please tell me a story? And I'm like, oh my goodness, I would love to, but maybe tomorrow. So yeah, it's definitely, I didn't realize, you know, going into it, I really didn't realize how interesting it was until I started doing it. And then once I started doing it, I didn't think others would find it interesting. But, you know, look at all the amazing shows that are on, you know, right now about private investigators. A little bit, you know, I think they can maybe take some lessons from us and from our investigators, because some of it's a little bit, you know, Hollywoodish and not so real. But, you know, people love it.
Well, people are obsessed with it. Look, you've got punk bands writing songs about it. You've got private investigators have been a key part of, I mean, think about, you know, noir cinema, you know, gangster movies and TV shows. The show Private Eyes, which we talked about earlier with
yes, Jason Priestley.
Jason Priestley.
He needs to come, if he's listening, he needs to come and take some lessons from our guys that were, you know, 30 years in policing, because some of the stuff I'm kind of like, oh, Jason, you just wrecked it. You know,
Jason
It's
Priestley
go
is a
back-
huge fan of this podcast.
Go back to
so-
9021. No, I'm just kidding. I love it. You know what? He actually portrays, to be perfectly, you know, we're joking around, but he actually portrays a really good private investigator, because he does, you know, think outside the box. He's very intuitive. He doesn't think, you know, the way, let's just say, a regular civilian would think. He's obviously done his homework, and he's obviously talked probably to many investigators, but I just think we could tweak it just a little bit.
So in terms of depictions of private eyes, whether it's this song, whether it's Jason Priestley's version of being a private investigator, do you have kind of in your experience any shows, any movies, any books, any songs that you feel got it particularly right or particularly wrong?
Well, I am going to say this. Whenever anybody thinks private investigator, they start singing da-da, da-da, da-da. They think Pink Panther. They think of, you know, the guy, you know, with the long beige trench coat with the black fedora lurking in the shadows. And I'm like, oh gosh, you are so wrong. You know, when you're out with your girlfriend, you know, my male and female investigator were having dinner beside you. Or let's just say, for example, when, you know, this person was, you know, defrauding millions of dollars, you know, there was somebody undercover, you know, within the corporation that saw everything. So I think that the perception of a private investigator is still that gumshoe or shoe gum, whatever they call it, private investigator. I mean, look, boots on the ground is definitely what we are. And it's still, you know, very old school, but these are men and women that have, as I said, decades of law enforcement experience underneath their belt. So they're not lurking in the shadows. They look like you and I. You would never know that they're investigators. And if I have to say a show, I still would go, you know, I really like Private Eyes, and I actually watch, and it's probably the show that's closest to, you know, the reality of it. Like I said, it's still a show. It still needs to be, you know, kicked up a few notches. So it's not so much like a docuseries and something that's a reality show. But I would say it's pretty darn close.
Now, has anyone thought about making like a reality show? And, you know, maybe this is happening. You know, has anyone ever thought about making a show about you and the work that you do?
Oddly, we've already shot a pilot a few years back, and was syndicated in the States and Canada. And for reasons I don't really want to talk about right now, we decided against doing it. We are in talks with a production company right now, and they are extremely interested in moving forward. It is, you know, it is a full-time job. I'm not sure I'm ready to leave, you know, what I love and enjoy to do something like this. And it's funny because I have so many inquiries from people. And I don't know if you remember the show Cheaters. Do you remember that?
Oh my God. Of course I remember Cheaters. When I was, I loved Cheater. Was Jimmy
Everybody loved that show.
He always answered his phone. He'd go, "Talk to me, Gomez." And I was like, that's how I want to answer my phone. Oh, how much is your job like Cheaters? I mean, that's a show. That
is such a show. You know, I got to tell you, I would have been retired 15 years ago if we would have done something like that.
Yeah.
But it never ends well. Like, I mean, why do you watch it? Because you want to see the fist fight between the two girls or the two guys or the whatever. So somebody's going to jail always. And so I don't want my clients to go to jail. I can't tell you how many times we get asked, can I ride along with the investigator? Can I follow? Can you tell me where you guys are so we can, you know, lots of family law matters are like that. And, you know, that's why this new show is very much kind of in that realm. So, you know, we're in discussions, let's just put it that way, but it was a great show and people loved the drama. They love to escape for 30 minutes to know, hey, my life is less messed up than yours. And I just got some good entertainment.
Absolutely. Do you remember there was an episode where the main guy, I think his name was Jimmy Greco, right? The investigator, he got stabbed by one of the people that they were investigating.
Yes, correct.
I hope you have never been stabbed.
I have never been stabbed, no, but my guys have definitely been in very dangerous situations, which, you know, as I said, that's the whole kind of, I guess, risk that they take. And again, them being in law enforcement, that's what they That's what they know. They're just not allowed to carry a gun in Canada. And, we are all about keeping the peace. We don't want any kind of conflict or anything that's, let's say outside of a courtroom or outside of, I would guess, charges if that's how the client saw fit to go, at the end of the investigation.
Absolutely. And I think, you've obviously, you have a duty. I mean, you can't be telling tales out of school. I think, something that's probably hard about doing a show is how do you, talk about what you do without compromising, again, your client's confidentiality. But I will ask, since we talked about the dinner party, and we're talking about the reality show, do you have a go-to anecdote when someone corners you that is like a safe, you're not outing anyone or anything? This is when someone says, "Oh, you're a PI. What's that like?" And you're like, "Well, I'll give you this one morsel." Do you have a go-to anecdote at all?
Of course, absolutely. And first and foremost, let alone the fact that we're, governed by, certain governing bodies and the Trespass Act, as well as the Privacy Act. So I can never disclose names, but I can most definitely disclose stories without names, without addresses. If there's any identifiers, like if it's a celebrity style person or an athlete, or somebody in the media or whatnot, obviously never. You always have to act in a very integral way. And that's, I think for us, I know the business many decades ago did not have a good reputation. I know ourselves, and there's, about a handful of other agencies that, conduct themselves in a very integral manner. And so, but just to go back to your story, absolutely, I do. Do you want me to share one of the stories with you?
I would love if you could share. And again, no pressure, but if there is a story,
oh no, but I know
we would love to hear it.
Okay, but I know after this one, you're going to ask for one more. But I'm going to give you one, and then you can have me on, and that's all we'll do is tell stories.
Yes.
People seem to love this story, and it's so funny because I was heartbroken when the poor guy called me. So he called me. It was Thursday, and he's like, "Oh, I think my fiance is cheating on me." And it's like Thursday at like 9:30 p.m. And I said, "Okay, sorry to hear that. I can definitely help." And he's like, "Okay, well, I really hope you can because I'm getting married Saturday." And I was like, "You couldn't have called me on Wednesday?" It was one of those. So, sure enough, we, jumped into action immediately. Sadly, it was very easy to catch them because in the middle of the day, bare ass in the air in the back of a pickup truck. We got video. Anyways, and my client is lovely. I got to say, honestly, all of my clients are so endearing, and usually they're very distraught. They're really like deers caught in headlights and completely, they either caught a morsel of something. Anyways, back to your story. So I said, "Okay, so I guess you're calling off the wedding." And he was like, "Oh, absolutely not." And I was like, "Okay, so what are we going to do?" He goes, "Well, I need 15 of your investigators. We're going to do surveillance at my wedding. I've got a surprise." And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is not going to end well." I'm like, "What's the surprise?" He's like, "Just don't worry. So I'll tell you. So fast forward, of course, I made him tell me. And he only told me a certain amount of it. But anyhow, so he said her family was very well-to-do. His family was well-to-do as well, but her family was very, very well-to-do. Big, huge 700-person wedding, the whole 9 yards, married her, got up and said, "I'd just like to, have a toast to my wife and to my best man. Thank you both very much. You've always been there for me. And, when after the video, I have a surprise for all of you. And it's I've copied this video. It's underneath your seats." Well, ass in the air video with music. And it was kind of funny. It's not funny, but the way he did like, "Thank God you guys both did me a favor." She was sleeping with his best friend, who was a childhood friend. Anyways, needless to say,
oh my God,
her family went crazy. The police were called. Actually, the police were already there because it was kind of a well-to-do and larger. We had some off-duty folks and whatever there. Anyhow, long story short, it didn't end well. But I'm gonna say,
I believe that story does not have a good ending. There's no way.
But but then he did a USB key for everybody to have. And it was just like, oh my gosh. And he's like, listen, years later, I got to tell you, that was about 12 years ago. And some of my clients, I mean, we keep in touch, they keep in touch with me. And, some clients are like, so super happy and single, traveling across Europe, married, met my soulmate, 2 kids later. Anyways, he's very happily remarried, and he's got 2 kids now. Actually.
Well, I'm glad that's the closest thing to a happy ending you can get when you distribute USB keys of your spouse cheating on you at your wedding.
Butt in the air. Don't forget the butt in the air. Yeah, that was.
All right, well, that's pretty good, Adrianne. I really appreciate you walking through the song Private Eye with me, telling me a few tales, giving us the real goods on what it means to be a private eye. If people in the Ontario region want to find you, where can people track you down? What is the best way to enlist your services, or just check out your additional musings on this wild profession that you have?
Well, if I told them where they could find me, then aren't I kind of giving up my undercover gig?
That's
just
true.
Kidding.
Yeah,
just
that's
kidding.
true. You can't dox yourself.
There you go. You can always contact us through our website at sqpi.ca. You can contact us at 416-884-5100. I know I'm going to connect you with all my socials, and they can just give us a call whenever they need something, or if they want to uncover the truth. And this song is going to be our new favorite song, and definitely our intro whenever we're going out on the road.
I love to hear it. Adrianne, thank you very much for your time. I hope that I talk to you in the future, but never have cause to enlist you for your services.
Me too, Sam. It was great. You're awesome. Thank you.